Welcome, one and all, to another live stream of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew and joined by the usual crew of maniacs. We have Jeff on the side of the screen next to me. We have Belle opposite corner, and we have Dave opposite Jeff on the screen there. So good to see everyone. My connection's a bit funny tonight, so we'll see how well it goes for me, but I'm going to try and get through all this as best as we can. As always, we have a lot to get through. Back into the swing of things, new season, the King of the Rift to kick things off tonight. Before we get to that, we'll have Backyard Banger, which I've got this week, and it's Two-Headed Dog out of Melbourne with their new EP, Por el Lado C. I forget the English translation. I had to read, believe it or not. We're going to go through albums from June 85 and collect those, along with reviewing the results from May. Jeff has the game tonight. Belle has brought Deathless Legacy as part of a global groove antics tonight. And then, like I said earlier on, King of the Rift, round one tonight. All Australian is the theme. And the albums are INXS Kick going up against Tragic Earth, Hatred and Tolerance. That will be a very interesting battle, a very David and Goliath themed one there.
Yeah.
As always, Jody says hello to everyone. And speaking of that, Kat's here saying, hey, Rage, it's good to see you as well, Kat. Hopefully you're keeping well out there. Get in the comments, say hi, let us know you're watching from. And also the question of the day, or question of the stream as we go through things here, is as we are getting close to the halfway mark of the year, what have been your highlights musically so far? So favorite albums, favorite EPs, all that kind of stuff, or songs, videos. Just let us know some of your favorites that you've come across as the year has gone on. We're nearly halfway through it, folks, so it's getting there.
Crazy.
All right. No, Edge Crush is going Tragic Earth, and I'm getting other comments on things. If you're commenting now to vote, you're probably a bit late, but we'll see what happens with that. The results are already in and collated, folks, so good luck with that one. Unless I'm getting delayed notifications because my internet's being shit tonight. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Time, as always, to get into the Hot Rocks part of the show and the new songs that are currently in Tastemakers. We'll rattle off those first. We're going through the results of last week's poll. So just for additional songs, top things up, we have Baby Animals with their cover of Ace of Spades. We have HZ with their new single Point of View. Nicholas Cage Fighter and their latest I Watched You Burn, and the Ugly Kings, keeping on the acoustic theme, which we'll go through tonight. Wicked Witch of Wonder acoustic version of that for them as well is in there too. The ones actually nominated, Elliot put forward Ian Anthony Lucason's new song, Our Final Song, which is a bit of a throwback project. Michael C put forward Devilskin Swelter. Vinny put forward Shiraz Lane Plastic Heart. Kat put forward 6th Century Crosswinds. Michael G put forward 3 Days Grace, Apologies, and Triple Kill put playing. I put in Triple Kill playing to win. So there we go with that. Kat, can you do me a favor? Just put a note in Discord, people to tune in, because I forgot to do that tonight. I forgot to do a lot of things tonight. If you could do me a solid, because I know you're here at least, that'd be nice to do. Alrighty, let's get into the Hot Rocks results of things and get into it. So honorable mention that didn't quite. Got some votes, not quite enough to get into the top 10, is Arabella and the Highest with their new song, Ruckus. There's a new video for that coming out as well, so if you did like that last week, that is coming up in the works too. I think it's premiering tonight on a particular website, but I forget where. My apologies. Coming in at number 10 is East York, He Doesn't Deserve You. It was number 6 last week, and its second week now, just scraped in to be number 10. Number 9 is Electric State with What Do You Want? It was number 2 last week, and its second week, it slid down to 9, so these are some fast droppers. Number 8, Airborne, thank you, Kat. I see that in there. Airborne at number 8 with their new single, Gutsy, which is getting a lot of praise in the world out there. And number 7 is Daughtry with The Day I Die. Those are the ones that we round up before we get into our first song to go through tonight, because there are some repeat entries in the top 4. So we're going to go now into track number 6 this week, which is Halestorm, Everest. I'm going to put a link in the comments. There's links for everything in the description box. You know what to do, folks. And there's a link in the chat as we go through. I've got a few people here. Michael's going, hey, all. Other Michael, you two always, I swear. Back-to-back commenters every single time, you two. Two Michaels here. Good to see you both. Hopefully you're keeping well. All right. First cab off the rank this week, that is Halestorm Everest. This is the first of the new songs that came in. It came in number 6 this week. Because of us, we don't double up on songs we've done before. We add new ones in. So this is why we're covering number 6 this week. This is the very latest from the American band. It is the second single from the upcoming 6th studio album, the same name, Everest, due August the 8th, 2025. About the song itself, Lizzie Hell describes the track as the summit of everything we fought for, every scream, every scar, every triumph. Nominated by Kat. As I said, this came in number 6 this week, was assigned to me, so let's get stuck into it. I found this track interesting. Definitely more brooding and moody than a lot of their stuff. The lyrics are loaded, there's a weight behind the words, and as always, Halestorm have something to say and say it well. Solid riff in this one. I like the spoken delivery from Lizzie in parts. That's a cool little addition to their sound and style. I think the solos are tasteful. The rhythm section is tight. All these things are as expected with the band. On paper, this is a song that really could tick all the boxes, but I found myself struggling to genuinely connect with it. I hope I'm alone in that one. It's one of those ones where I genuinely hope I'm alone, but it just felt something. Yeah, I love Halestorm. I have for a number of years now. They're a great band. Lizzie remains one of the finest and most powerful front people out there in the game today, as far as I'm concerned. So I had to ask myself, where does this song kind of lose me? And I kept thinking about it, and I wondered why I couldn't connect to it. And I think it comes down to the mix, personally. Not something that's obvious straight away, but there's something about it that once you hear it, it's hard to unhear. For me, it was anyway. They made some interesting choices in that regard. It all seems to come down to balance, or in this case, a lack of it. The dramatic sort of sonic push and pull just doesn't land for me on this one. I know they approach things differently. They sort of wrote and recorded as they went through to get a really organic feel and approach to things. They wanted to strip things back in the studio. But when you've got someone like Lizzie, especially on a track that's sort of this brooding, I think you should lean into her power more than they have here. Instead, she feels kind of muted. Her trademark tone, that raw emotional delivery, it's been dialed back. The solo sits above her in the mix, which I found odd, noticeably so. There's also a cymbal moment later on in the song, which is supposed to bring something like you see it in the video, but it's almost completely non-existent in the audio. It's just all sort of these little bits and pieces that would land that impact and help you to connect to a song just disappear. All the dramatic production work as an odd choice the reverb, the layering, all those things, those details seem front-ended in the verses, where I think they should be building into the chorus, and then it just sort of pulls away when that chorus comes in. Harmonies are hard panned, but don't sort of hit. The drums float above everything at some points, and even the guitars overpower the vocal too, which I found odd for a combination of the mids. The lead work is prominent, but the vocals are muted by comparison. It's a strange choice, especially on a track about finding one's voice. I found that to be really just a hard cliche to get past. The mid-song change of suffers the same fate. It builds toward a payoff that never really lands. And for someone like Lizzie, whose emotive delivery is usually the heart of their songs, it just feels stifled. I don't want clean edges from Halestorm or Lizzie Hale in particular. I want the cracks, I want the fire, I want the vulnerability. But here it's like that all got watered down. And don't get me wrong, this is not about a bad song. This is a good song. It's well written, it's well performed, the band did what they do, all that kind of stuff. But it just sort of left me without feeling it. And that's sort of the thing that you want from this band. That's Lizzie's superpower for me normally. And the lyrics, her performance, all that sort of stuff, they need room to shine. And this mix is like kryptonite to that. The song has so much going for it. It's good. I want to say that it is a good song because I did like the song itself, the composition, the performance, all that kind of stuff. I just wish they'd stuck the landing. Putting the main riff in such a spacious song above the vocal just killed it for me. I didn't know what to do there. But anyway, I did like the song. Just wanted to land a critique there, I guess. I'm giving this 7 shots for me this week. So that's where I ended up on that one. Sorry. Sorry to... is it Kat? I think Kat put this one forward. So my apologies, Kat. I like the song, just it didn't stick the landing. Let's do the thumbs up, thumbs down. How did everyone else go with this one?
I liked it.
Everyone else liked it? Cool. I'm the odd one out. I'm glad I'm the odd one out. Like, I actually genuinely hope I am on that context, because I hope it's just me that it didn't land for. Just moving on then. That's cool. All right. Number 5. Jolie's gone 6 shots for Lizzie. So there you go. It's not just me. Assuming I read that correctly. Crowne coming in at number 5 with Waiting for You. So I'm going to put that one into the, speaking of Jolie, it's just Jolie's song. Michael said 7 shots for me. Like your review, Andrew. Think fair criticism. I normally love Halestorm. So okay, there we go. It's not just me. I'm glad everyone in here liked it, but it seems to be a bit of a mixed feedback then so far overall, which is interesting. Yeah. Anyway, next song is Crowne, Waiting for You. This is the latest from the Swedish quote-unquote supergroup, the first single from the upcoming 3rd studio album Wonderland, due out August 22nd, 2025 via Frontiers. The band features a powerhouse cast: Alexander Strandell on vocals, Jonah T guitars and keyboards, John Levin on bass, Christian Lundqvist on drums, and Love Magnuson on lead guitar. Jolie put this one forward, and it made it to number 5 this week as the 2nd highest new song in there. It gets the treatment. It was assigned to Belle, so let's get stuck in.
I don't know Crowne or anything about them. Why am I not surprised they're Swedish? Just got that sound, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I knew I'd like this song as soon as I heard the keyboard riff like come in the opening bar. Yeah, I really love this kind of hard rock AOR throwback sort of stuff. This is a really just perfectly executed example of it. These guys sound like a grittier version of Heat.
Yeah, fair.
It's fine by me.
So it makes sense.
I love Heat, but sometimes, especially their more recent stuff, I find them a little bit kind of overproduced and kind of got that, I don't know, there's a lot there when they should just strip it back. And this is Crowne have stripped back the top layer that Heat don't. So I think I prefer the Crowne sound to Heat.
Okay.
Yeah, singer has an awesome voice, gets really fucking high on that last note. It's like, do you guys remember that? It's like, goes way up there. It's like someone's got him by the nuts and it's just like squeezing on cue, like for that last note. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about this song other than I really loved it. 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
10 shots. That's a lot.
Wow.
Well done. All
Perfect.
right. Cool. That's a 10. Wow. Perfect song. All right. Well, let's go with this one. Thumbs up, thumbs down, folks. I'm going thumbs up in this one. I enjoyed this one quite a lot. This was cool. Jolie has enjoyed this one. Jolie said, what did she say? She said she was focusing on you, Belle, to see what you thought. So there we go. It worked out to get that one. You must have had some magic on there.
Jolie.
Guru's here going, greetings, rockers across the plane. Hey. Good to see you as always. He's gone rooted for the Oilers, by the way. Yeah, that was a sad end for Jeff there, unfortunately. But there we go.
Yeah.
Alrighty, on to the next. So number 4 this week was Calva Louise with Aimless, or as Jeff coined it last week, Pointless. That is in its 3rd week now. It's jumped up a spot, believe it or not, this week. It was 5 last week and up to 4 this week. So it went up. So there we go. Which brings us over to number 3 this week, which I'm going to put in the comments now for everyone to check out quickly. Michael C says 7 shots for Crowne, not a bad track. Didn't knock my socks off though. So there we go. We're channeling some things there, aren't we? All right, number 3 this week is Voice of Baceprot with Renegade Sheep. This is the latest from the all-female metal group out of Indonesia and is a taste off of their latest mini album, Transisi, which is out now. Billed as an anthem for outsiders, lyricist Marcia, I think it is, puts it as, this is a voice for those who no longer want to be silenced members of the herd. Put forward by Michael G. This one made it to number 3 this week, was assigned to Jeff as our 3rd highest track for the week. So over to you.
All right. Yeah. So look, my first reaction to this song was a big, what the, and then yeah, kind of similar. So what we've got here, for some reason, for me anyway, the name of this band seemed really familiar. Did we review these guys before at all, any point in the past?
I think we have played them on the show, and that we have got allowed him to please play music and that. I think that was a song that you weren't a fan of previously.
It could be. I just had the memory of the name, and for some reason I knew the name. I couldn't
TV more than this.
Maybe, yeah. So anyway, I listened to this, not knowing exactly what I was listening to, trying to keep an open mind, of course, avoiding any preconceived perceptions that I might have. And that's difficult to do. When you listen to as much music as we do, it can be a little bit difficult not to become a bit jaded with what we're hearing. After a while, it sort of all blurs together, and that's just sort of how it goes, at least for me anyway. But actually, after listening a few times, I realized that I was actually kind of liking it a little bit.
Okay.
Now, I wasn't crazy about it. There was something here that wasn't quite to my taste. Maybe it was like the almost punky. There was like rap-like vocals and stuff in there, a little bit, a taste of that. And so anyway, look, that's always been a surefire way for me to hit fucking skip on a song. But of course, I had to review it. So, but because there was enough here really to keep me interested. So that was good. Now, I have to say, it wasn't bad. I guess it was just lukewarm. That's the way it left me, which is not good, not bad. A little bit of vanilla. But spoiler alert, people, vanilla is my favorite flavor. So there you go. So the more I liked it. So I looked them up, and then I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't believe what I found. I didn't expect it. So it took me completely off guard. You got a 3-piece, all-female Muslim band from Indonesia. And I was like, what the actual, So I did a little bit of research of the band, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with what I actually found. and what I was reading. So the fact is, this band is extremely rare. It's rare as hen's teeth, really. Not only are they, being female in itself, a 3-piece band, all female. It's not exactly. There's lots of them out there, but it's not exactly the norm. So, but it's where they're from. Okay.
Yeah.
So where they're from really has a lot to say with the whole idea of this band. So, understandably, there's been some strong criticism against them from some of the Muslim sources, the more hardcore Muslim sources that are out there. But at the same time, many Western bands have actually thrown their support behind them. You take a guy like Slash from Guns N' Roses. Okay. He did. Tom Morello reached out to them. Flea from the Chili Peppers. Vernon Reid from Living Colour, just to name a few. Slash, actually, when they played Indonesia, he asked to meet them personally. He wanted them. He wanted them brought in. Yeah. So now it is a big endorsement. So look, why this matters. Look, so for many years, metal music has sort of been seen as a product of the West, almost as if we from the West are the gatekeepers of the genre. Now the truth is, metal is for everyone. At least it should be. And a band like VOB is a shining example of that voice, pun intended. Spreading it far and wide. So I think this song needs to be heard. This band needs to be heard. And metal fans need to embrace this band in the hopes that they will inspire others in the future to follow in their footsteps. Now, while I have to say that some of the elements that VOB employed here were not to my personal taste, I still respect it. The playing on the guitar here was good. The playing on the drums, the bass, it was all well done. I think musically they're excellent. So my only gripe really was with the vocals. And it was a small gripe. I think I kind of get the vibe, what they're after. It's not the singing per se. It's more of the method, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And the way it was presented. But all up, I was very pleasantly surprised by the song and this band and what they bring to the table. As I said, it wasn't all to my personal tastes, but I still respect their musical journey into the metal world in which they've stuck their toes. And of this, all I can say is we need more of it. So 8 shots.
Nice. All right. Cool. Let's do the rounds. I enjoyed this one. Horns up from me. I gave this one a lot of love. No, Dave, thumbs down. Bell in the middle. Here we go. It's going to be, I thought it'd be a mixed response, that one, but it is what it is in that regard. It is going to be different for everyone. So do what you will with that, folks. What do we got here? Joel, he said, really like this song too. 8 shots for Joe, for Voice of Baceprot. Michael actually put in Discord for those in there. You can get a link in our description box. He did a photo gallery from their live show at the Croxton in Melbourne on the 26th of October 24. So go and check that out if you want to as well. Kat says, here we go, squeezing nuts, let the fun begin. All right, here we go.
Take away the obvious novelty, they're just a very generic, average fucking band.
I liked them. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, but it's where they're from. I think that's the. If they were from Toronto or from Melbourne, no one would care.
Yeah, that's exactly that's the novelty. Nobody would care if they didn't have the fucking.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's true. I agree with you. I get it.
Man family here saying g'day all. Good to see you as well. Michael C, Voice of Baceprot, 9 shots. This did not muck socks off. Great track. Each time I listen, grabbing more and more. Michael, the other Michael has gone. He played VB on the Asian music episode from memory. We did that. That's correct.
There we go.
Vinny's here. Hi all. Did Jeff just say he's vanilla? Just jumped on the stream. Need context. That's his favorite flavor, apparently.
I love it.
Vinny, so there you go.
Finest of the flavors. Yeah.
Yep. Vinny missionary position for Jeff and Vinny's. And okay, it's off for the race. You guys have fun in the comments now. I'm going to leave you to it because Vinny's going to have fun now. All right. Going to go through 2 and 1 now. Number 2 is Nesta, In the Name of Rock and Roll from Jolie. That was, I don't know, it's number 7 last week. It's spiked in its 5th week now. It's jumped up to number 2, so it's really doing the rounds, this song. Which brings us finally to number 1, which is Cicadastone with their latest track, Long Way Down, in the comments and description box, as always. This is the latest from the Melbourne band we know and love a lot here at the show. Clearly, it seems we aren't the only ones loving these guys, though, this week. This is a new acoustic song that comes from the band's new Future Echoes extended acoustic EP, which is reworked versions of the songs from the fantastic album of the same name, Future Echoes. Out now for everyone to enjoy. This EP is. This is a band we know, like I said, and know well, and they took out number 1 this week. Vocalist, guitarist Matt Robbins describes the track as a reflection on cancel culture, a slippery slope, how far down that rabbit hole before we've lost ourselves. All this preamble aside, Dave, over to you. Your song.
Very cool. I like that preamble. Fuck cancel culture. Cancel me, bitch. This is a peaceful and mellow song. It quickly puts me into a reflective mood, and perhaps too reflective at times, which makes it hard for me to listen to on repeat spins. But I did that anyway. It takes you to a place. The lyrics and the visuals are very descriptive, and it conjures lots of images in my mind. Might take it a personal direction, but I know where it goes. Music is like that, and that's a good thing. Guitar sound is fucking beautiful, and obviously Mark is. I don't think they both run their own recording studio, so they know what they're doing, and it always sounds fantastic. The vocal harmonies are excellent as always. These two brothers always sound great when they sing. I might have spent a bit too long on Spotify looking for the non-acoustic version of this. I need to find out that it doesn't actually exist, to the best of my knowledge.
It's a new song,
I found that on a review. Because I'm like, I needed to know. Because I'm like, have I heard this song before? But no, apparently I haven't. But yeah, this was cool. 8 Shots, cool song.
Yeah, no, I'm going to agree with everything you said and more. I love this one. 2 thumbs up, 2 horns up, whatever. I adored this song. It was a stunning one for me. What about everyone else? Jeff up, Bell up. Everyone loves it. I think a clearly deserving number 1 this week. Very. I was surprised. When I say surprised, it sounds like it's got a negative context, but because it wasn't a nominated song, it was just one we used as a filler. It just went in there and just flew up, and I'm glad that it did. It shows you the caliber of how good these guys are, because they've been putting out some great stuff for a while. And yes, they do run their own studio, Color Sound Studios. And if you want to get some great recording done, go and look them up, because they will look after you for sure.
Cool.
Yep. Kat says only 8 sleeps to go to see Cicadastone and Audio Rain. Looking forward to that for you, Kat. That's going to be an awesome show. Michael C says Cicadastone 10 shots. This is a beautiful track. Love these guys. Yeah, I thought it was phenomenal. And Guru says, by the way, Copenhagen is on these days over here. Oh wow, again. Fuck, it's that time of year again. Wow, I remember that from last year too. Fucking crazy how fast time flies. Enjoy. And Vinny's gone thumbs up Cicadastone as well. All right, time to get into some hard rock happenings, some news, bits and pieces here. Another band that we know and love here, courtesy of our Patreon supporters, Freeze the Fall, have released their brand new EP, The Red Garden. On that note, on this front, The Who, another band we know out of Mongolia, they've got their new EP, Echoes of Thunder, out now as well. Just new additions there too. Just announced the other day was Uli John Roth, his Australian tour, one of rock's true guitar heroes. Jeff, I know you agree with this one. Uli John Roth is heading to Australia for the very first time this September on his Pictures of Destiny World Tour, and he's bringing a killer Best of Scorpions set with him. This is the man who replaced Michael Schenker in Scorpions back in '73 and helped shape some of their most iconic records: Flight of the Rainbow, In Trance, Virgin Killer, Taken by Force, and the legendary Tokyo tapes. His influence runs deep, with Kirk Hammett, Marty Freeman, and Yngwie Malmsteen all tipping a hat to his playing. Now, over 50 years into a truly wonderful career, from Electric Sun to symphonies and shredding on stage with the Smashing Pumpkins, Uli's bringing it all to life across 3 Australian dates only. Sydney, September 3 at the Manning, Adelaide, September 4 at the Gov, and Melbourne, September 5 at the Croxton. Early bird tickets on sale Thursday, June 19. So today, they're already on sale now. And VIP meet and greets are also available. All that sort of stuff is there. You'll be able to have a lot of fun. Don't sleep on it. These will probably sell out fast, because he is well loved out there. As soon as I put him in there, Jeff's gone, oh my God. So there we go.
I'm going to do my best to make that one.
That's another one. Going to change vibe dramatically now. There's another one out there to another tour announced this week. It's a bit of a quieter week overall. Punk Rock Factory. They are coming on tour in Australia in November. This is the punk rock party of 2025 you didn't know you needed. Viral Sensations, Punk Rock Factory, which I've never heard of, by the way, but it's got the press release, heading back to Australia this November, slinging pop culture classics and punked up nostalgia like nobody else. From Disney to Michael Jackson, Bluey to ABBA, and even a chaotic take on Mbop, nothing is off limits. They've smashed Bloodstock, Slam Dunk, and Download, and now they're hitting our shores for 4 shows. You got Brisbane, November 21 at Crowbar. You got November 22, Sydney at the Crowbar. Okay, that's weird. I don't think it's Crowbar both. Anyway, I might be wrong. November 23, Melbourne, Max Watts. Adelaide, November 25th at Lion Arts Factory. Tickets are all on sale, I think, already, but anyway, I'm not sure about that. Anyway, you know what to do. You can go and check it out, but that's what you want to do there. New release side of things. New releases are coming out tomorrow. I've got a big list, or not a big list, but an interesting list. You've got Halestorm with the Thunder Fist. That's coming out tomorrow. And then you've got Angel of Damnation with Ethereal Blasphemy. Cryptopsy with an insatiable violence, Death Pill, Sologamy, Helm's Deep, Chasing the Dragon, Imma Tarikat with Confessing Darkness, Jamie's Elsewhere, Alchemical EP, Malevolence, Where Only the Truth is Spoken, Nad Sylvan with Monumentata, Pungent Stench with Mucus Secretion, it's a re-release, that one, Sweet with Level-Headed alternate mixes and demos, that'd be an interesting one there as well, and Tenebrae in Perpetuum with Vacuum Sueli, or whatever it is pronounced as. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Halestorm tomorrow. That's going to be my big one of the list there.
Mucus Secretion? Isn't that just
apparently.
snot? Isn't that fucking snot?
I don't know. Ask Punch
man.
and Stench, not me. I have no idea.
What a
Guru has chimed in saying this dude streams the festival. There's a Twitch stream there, which you can see on the screen. It's twitch.tv/SOWEQ, it looks like, but I'm not sure how well that'll work for. But if you want to check out Copenhagen, that is on over there as well. Thank you for the link, Guru. Looking forward to people going to be able to check that out. Alrighty, over now to this week's backyard banger, moving us all along here. This is back to our home shores now in Melbourne. This is Two-Headed Dog with By the Seaside. That's the English translation of what I mentioned earlier on. This is 5 tracks for 28 minutes. This EP marks the long overdue and awaited return for this Melbourne 4-piece who have been away for a number of years now. Released May 2025 independently, this is the band's first release since their album Beware of the Dog back in 2014, aside from a standalone single back in 2020. This EP is made up of reimagined tracks from the album and was finally released pretty much 10 years after it was recorded. This was recorded with Andy Simpson with, I believe, a different lineup to the one they have in the band now. This is the rebirth of this band in many ways after many trials and tribulations, including cancer and deaths and things like that to overcome. This is a band that I knew well several years ago now. We had them on Shiprocked and they were a lot of fun back then too. I've got some old archive footage of these guys playing on a boat. But I'm glad that, as things play out the way we do things behind the scenes, this one ended up being my turn in the assignment, and it's this week's backyard banger, my go. So let's dive in. This one's got that sort of old school cool feel to me. It's a little rough around the edges, but that's exactly what gives it the sort of charm and that gritty live in the room vibe that I'm looking for this kind of music. It doesn't feel polished in the modern sense per se, but I think that's a good thing. This is music that breathes, it sweats, and it leans into its imperfections in all the right ways. There's a big undeniable groove running through the entire EP. It bites, it rolls, it swings. In some ways, it reminds me of the Rolling Stones after a long night on a bender with Jackson Firebird. That's what I'm thinking of when I listen to this one. Two very different bands, but both bringing that blues-soaked sort of swagger and attitude to this thing. There's a hint of Hendrix in there as well, I found, especially in the looseness of the lead work and the slightly psychedelic guitar work. It's got this bluesy wildness to it that I really did enjoy listening to. From the very top, Love is Friction had me hooked. It's just fucking infectious, that song. It's nothing overly complex on the surface, but the magic is the feel and the execution, and it's all those things. It's one of those things I made a note where it's a simple recipe, but it's hard to get right, and it's one of those things. It's like that here. There's that live energy on this one, which is tangible. The groove hits right. The drums have punch. The bass lines walk with real attitude. There's some killer lead guitar lines that cut through as well. And the lyrics are sharper than they first appear. It's got that fun, hook-heavy vibe, but there's an edge to this one at points as well. There's bite under the grit, and that's what makes this all work incredibly well for me. Crybaby keeps the pace up, adds another layer with some great gang vocals. The solo might be a little tucked back in the mix, but it suits the track, and it gives that sort of looser barroom feel to things as well. This, on that barroom thing, it feels dirty. It feels like walking to the old Cherry Bar with the sticky floor and all that kind of stuff. This feels like that when you listen to this EP. I mean that in the best possible way. It feels like you've been dragged into a sweaty, packed venue that, front row, pint in hand. I haven't seen these guys live in ages, but this feels and sounds like I remember them just the way they were all those years ago. The same energy, that same cheeky power. And when they take it down a notch with tracks like Easy Way Out, bringing in more sort of space, more breath, that's really cool. The vocals stretch out nice on that one. The lead guitar work opens things up. It's still raw, still rumbling, but there's a touch of soul in this one too. I love how the amp hum is still there in the background. There's the things like the fretboard slides in there as well. It's all part of the character and the charm of this one. The general hiss, the general hum. It's not polished, like I said at the top, and that's what makes this feel real and warm and inviting when you're listening to it. You're in the room with the band. That intimacy is a huge part of what sells it to me. The keys start to shine a little more in tracks like that as well. I think, they lurk in the background across the EP, but here they get more spotlight, and it's welcome to me. If I'm nitpicking when listening to this one, I would have liked to have had the keys up a bit more across the board. You do hear them, but they're, I would have liked to hear them a bit more prominently. But that said, their subtlety adds to the live feel, and it's one of those things you'd miss them if they weren't there, which shows that they're doing their job just right in a lot of respects. Well, there was a band that I saw years and years ago where I could barely hear the keys, and they were like, but yeah, it fills in the sound without taking over things, and there's an art and a knack to that, and they've got that here. You got Rolling Coaster on there as well. That one's a trip, clocking in at over 7 minutes. It's got that jam band DNA all over it. Honestly, it feels like something ripped out of a Blues Brothers session and stretched into something far darker and more menacing overall. The tempo shifts and droning tones sort of give it an edge, and the whole thing moves in waves, meandering but never lost. It's the kind of track that pulls you in and doesn't let go until it's ready. I think that's a real highlight in this EP for me. The closing track, 11:45, brings it back to that bluesy grid again like I did at the start. Straight groove, simple on the surface, loaded with feel. There's even a little desert rock sort of vibe in that one as well for mine. That dry sort of rolling momentum that can't be denied. The final stanza lyrically is a ripper for me as well. A bit of fun there. Short, punchy, but it hits. This is the story of the whole EP for mine, and it all seems simple, but when you dig into it, the magic is in the little choices, the delivery, and the heart that this one has. If you're chasing something polished or crushingly heavy, this is not going to be your jam. But if you like your rock and roll sort of dirty, groovy, blues-based, and full of character, then this one's for you. It's fun, it's loose, it's sweaty, and I think it's just a damn good time. I gave this one 9 shots. It's a big welcome back to Two-Headed Dog for me. It's so good to see these guys again. I love his Friction and Rolling Coaster as my 2 big standouts in this one, but I didn't have a dud moment across this EP. I loved it quite a lot. So let's do the rounds on this one. Let's go to Belle next. How'd you go?
Okay. She had a dog. Sorry. The vibe of this album, it started out kind of, I don't know, it was like some mates in their share house lounge room having a jam kind of thing. It was a bit like it, and it just got better from there. It just kind of built and built. Okay, this wasn't where it started. So I was quite impressed and surprised. I was trying to think of these guys in a live setting, and I was thinking pub rock, definitely not the right. It's more like uni bar rock, I guess.
Yeah,
if you were to say, hey, what would be the best venue for like a small gig, it would be something like that. Vocals, I thought very Jagger-esque in style. I get the whole swagger thing, and I even picked up on their sort of Hendrix reference. Like there was a touch of that there.
Yeah, cool.
That instrumental jam in Rolling Coaster was awesome. Like at that point, I was out of the uni bar and at Woodstock or something. It was just big and loose and cool. Really liked that. So yeah, very cool. I give it 7 shots. It would have got 8, but no Spotify bio. They lose a point. Tell your mates, Andrew.
Well, they've been out of it for a while. They should. Every band should update that, obviously. But yeah, they've been out of it for a while. But no, fair point, fair play. Dave, how'd you go with this one?
Yeah, I like this. Eventually, it took a while to get used to their sound and their production, but it's pretty straightforward songs and playing, which is cool. It's basically production too. We're bombarded with so much music every week that has every trick possible, so much production that's overproduced. Yes. Even as much as I hate that, you get accustomed to it. So when you hear something stripped down like this, it takes a minute to adjust. And then I realize, mate, every week you're bitching about overproduced stuff. This is it. This is what you want. So it was cool and refreshing that a band can just say, this is us. This is what we do. This is our sound. This is our music. This is us playing together. This is what we write. This is what I want. This is cool. Yeah. Hook-driven blues rock done really well. Not reinventing the wheel by any means, but it's cool that bands are keeping this style of music alive. And I love what they do. The last song, 11/45, I had a very heavy Black Sabbath vibe from that. I think it was the drums, the swing. Yeah, it had a Bill Ward feel to it. I was half expecting Ozzy to come along. I'm not sure why there's a C at the end of every track, but because of that, I'm going to give this a C+. So it's not getting horns, or it's getting a C+.
Nicely played. I think it's, I don't know, it's it all plays into the title of everything by the seaside. I'm not sure why, but they are re-recordings of old songs. It's a whole game. But these guys have a lot of fun as they go through things. But that was fun. Well done, Dave. All right, Jeff, final word on this one.
Yeah, so when I put this on, I was listening to, it goes for quite a while, and I was actually really enjoying the music. I was like, wow. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, because it doesn't start singing straight away. So I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm really liking this. Now, how is the singer going to come in and fuck it up? But he didn't. He fucking it was great. I actually enjoyed it. And so I was fully expecting this is going to be brilliant music. I like this style of music, the rawness, the dirty, the gritty, the dirt floor stuff. I just love that. Because I've recorded some shit like that myself. So I really like that tone, that approach. And I was fully expecting the singer to fuck it up, and thankfully he didn't. He really he actually did very, very well, and he suited the band. They just have a down home feeling. There's no messing around. There's no pretentiousness at all. It's all left at the door. And you're literally just getting a band stripped down naked, but they make it sound fucking so great. I loved the sound from this band. I thought this was a refreshing, exactly what Dave said, in this overproduction, every trick in the book, throwing on every demo and every release that you hear. When you get a band that just comes into the studio, plays, and it's minimal, and yet there's charm. There's a charm here. It's very, very refreshing. I loved it. I could listen to this the whole fucking day. And I like a lot of other types of music, as you all know. And so it just goes to show you that it doesn't have to have every hook and every cliche and everything done perfect, so that someone listens to it and goes, oh, I heard a little note at a point. Who gives a fuck? It's beautiful. So I'm going to give this 9 shots. It almost gets a 10 for me, but I'm just going to save that for something, and so I can hear some more. Maybe something else surprise me, go down the track. So love it. This is fucking great.
Nice. Well, there you go. That's the whole point of Backyard Banger, to find something that's new and underground and have some fun with it. So, yeah, we did that this week, which is cool. They have more stuff in the works, too, which I'm glad to see. Like I said, they've been away for a long time, but they're getting back. Their last live gig, I think, was at our old friend Anthony Moore's place, Desert Highways, his store in Melbourne. So there you go. Anthony, if you're watching, then I know you've been working with these guys for a bit too, so it's been fantastic to see these guys back into things. And Andy, welcome back, the vocalist and drummer. And they've been going through the ring yourself too, so good to see you back into the saddle of things. Jolie said Two-Headed Dog album 8 shots was cool, which is nice. Well done there. Vinny said, didn't mind it. Remind me of the Zit Remedy, that group out of Degrassi Junior High. Wow. Fucking hell. That's a very specific reference, Vinny. Anyway, Michael says, gone Two-Headed Dog, 8 shots, easy listen. Even first listen got into it. I realize you want Bio on Spotify, but I judge it purely on the music. But yeah, Bio promotes your band, and we all agree on that one.
Yeah,
and Michael's gone, good review. Yeah, update the bio. Absolutely update the bio. But good review from the whole panel. I'm glad you like that part of it as well. But there you go. That's Backyard Banger for this week. Next week, it is, what have we got? Next week is Bell has Visualis with Rites of the Eclipse. So I hope you like that one, because we're going to go into that one next week. We'll see what happens there. Don't know. Time to find out. All right, on to the next part of the show, which is the Fretboard Feud. We're doing a 1985 collection here, where we go round by round, which is month by month of the year of 1985. And we go through pick albums from each month, which is the first time I've done things in this format, and see how things go from there. Last week we did May. And Bell chose Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms. I took Megadeth, Killing Is My Business. Jeff has Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy, and Dave took Night Ranger with 7 Wishes. Prior to that, the final scores were Dave on 120 points. I was on 140. Bell and Jeff were tied on 150 apiece last week, with Jeff taking top spot because he had the highest score on that particular week. So now move over to where we sit now. So like I said, Dire Straits, Megadeth, Rat, and Night Ranger got there. So for that, Bell took top spot, 50 points for Bell with Brothers in Arms from Dire Straits. Nice. Jeff got 40 points for Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy, so well done there. Oh, wow. I got 30 for Megadeth, which means Dave gets 20 points for Night Ranger, which changes the totals a bit. We're only halfway through. There's still a bit to go, but it's still quite tight. So Dave's on 140 points. I'm on 170, but now there's a clear break at the top, because Jeff's on 190 points, but Bella's out in front, but only by 10 points at 200 there. So there we go. That's how close things are. It's 60 points from top to bottom. We've still got 6+ rounds to go. So now that said, we're up to June this week, and whoever goes last the week before goes first in the new week. There are some interesting ones in this particular month of June 85. There were some good there. Dave, you have first crack at this. I'm wondering which way you're going to go. So please.
Are you? Are you really wondering? Because, man, you know me pretty well. Anyone who knows me well,
I know where you're going.
There's a pretty fucking obvious one here. This worked out really well because this is one of my favorite bands. Every band's got to start somewhere. This is a 5-track EP, and they sound quite different on this EP to what they ended up. They were a 4-piece, pretty much thrash metal band. They ended up basically creating power metal, but Halloween with their self-titled EP. With some classics like Miserere, Warrior, Victim of Fate, Cry for Freedom, fucking great songs. So, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love this EP a bit.
Dave, I would have died from shock if you didn't take that one, to be honest.
Yes.
I know you. We did that special years ago, and that was a great one. That EP is a fucking killer. So, yeah, I would have. If you didn't take it, I was going to if it was still there, believe it or not. That was definitely
there's no way anyone else is getting that one first.
Yeah, I know. Alrighty. Belle, you get to go second this week. So, what are you taking off the board this time around?
Well, there was another, I don't know, maybe not obvious, but kind of obvious big, album that was Motley Crue's Theatre of Pain. And I was actually going to take that, and I put it on today and just, just to listen to it again. And then I was going to, pick it until...
it's pretty fucking ugly.
What's that? Raise Your Hands to Rock. Came on, and
they're fucking that's so cliche.
They're trying to create a fucking rock anthem, and it's a terrible song.
Even Motley think that album's pretty average. So.
And they've already got their rock anthem. They had that Shout at the Devil. So anyway, awful song. So to me, that ruins the whole album. So I thought, no, fuck that. I'm not picking that album. Even though it probably will get most of the points. So I started looking through your list, Andrew. Okay, what other bands here? And it was really the only album that I knew. So I thought I'd just, do a few grabs of other stuff. I think Exciter, I'm like, that was all right, but not quite. And there, a couple of others. And then I saw Heart, and I put on Heart. I thought, I've always liked Heart, but never actually listened to a full album. So I put this album on, and I really liked it. So
cool.
I'm going to go with Heart. So Motley Crue's all yours if you want it, Andrew.
Well, Belle, you're talking those on my short list. But I am going to take Motley Crue. I'd be insane not to. Jody would kill me if I didn't take Motley Crue.
If you
didn't. So I'm definitely going to take Motley Crue, but not only for that, because I enjoy the album myself personally. Yes, I know it's not the highlight of the band's career, but at the same time, it's not a horrible album either. And Home Sweet Home is that anthem on the album. So I like the album personally. So there are some great tracks in there. I would be remiss if I didn't take it, I think, and grateful. I didn't think it'd be there for my third choice, but I'm happy it is. So there we go, which means, Jeff, you get to take the last call this round and go first next week. What have you got?
Well, I can tell you, if you hadn't taken it, I would have. Because look, that was for me. I was like 16 years old, and in 1985, yes, I'm old people, and that was that was just like a coming of age album. Like it was just like it was. They looked different, but fucking great band, really. So, anyway, when I looked at the list, I was like, there's some really good albums here. Actually, 85 was or June 85 was a good month.
Yeah.
So I think I have to go with my next choice, which is still there. So thankfully. And this band is an absolute fucking cracker band that I wish I had seen, and I haven't. Maybe I'll get to see them again. Maybe, just maybe. I'd like to see them live, but until I ever get that chance, I can listen to one of the best live albums, worldwide live, fucking Scorpions.
I knew it.
This fucking album. What a kick in the fucking... Oh, this is a great album. So if you like the Scorpions and you don't like this album...
Get out of here. There we go. We'll see how that plays out. So just to quickly recap, Dave took the Halloween EP, which we all knew was going to happen there. Halloween with Halloween. Bell took the other self-titled release here with Heart with Heart. I took Motley Crue Theatre of Pain, and Jeff has Scorpions Worldwide Live. We'll do a poll on this in the days ahead, so make sure you're following us on YouTube in particular and get involved in that one as we go through things. So there we go. That is June 85 done. Next time around, we will do July 85. That is the plan for that. I'm not sure what's on that list yet. I haven't fully done that list. I've done the hard part, then I got the easy additions to add later on. But there were some interesting other releases. There was Talking Heads, Sting, Weird Al Yankovic made an appearance in this one. There was Ryan T talking the live albums. Corey Hart was in there as well. So there's a few Beach Boys even. So there's a few in that list that could have been chosen along the way. But Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds were in there as well, actually. But there we go. That's that. That is June done. On to July next go around. And as we move through things here, what we got here, Michael says, I like all four of these albums. So good luck choosing one as the poll goes ahead in the near future. Cool. Alrighty. Now it is time for something completely different. And as we go through these ones, rotating through, it's everyone's game. I get to go next time around. But for now, it is Jeff's turn this week. So what game have you got in store for us this time around? You told us it was going to challenge our brains. So there we go.
I promise you it will challenge your brains. So, all right. Well, this game is a little bit different. So it's nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy, but let me just turn my microphone down. I'm getting some weird feedback. All right, that's better. Sorry, I was probably the only one hearing it, but it was enough to throw me off.
No, I didn't hear anything, so yeah.
Yep, that's okay. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to do a multiple choice quiz. So you're going to get the answer to every question. You're going to get it.
Okay.
It's just going to be a matter of choosing it. Now I'm going to keep track of the score, Andrew. So you don't have to. You can just sit down and relax.
All right.
I'm going to, every time someone answers, I'm going to put your initial beside the question, and then after it's all said and done, I will read out the winner who gets it. Okay, cool. So that's how we're going to do it.
Nice.
Okay, so now, well, here we go. So this one's a little bit different. Like I said, I deliberately made it not easy, so this is going to be kind of tough.
I'm glad it's multiple choice.
Here, there's 10 questions, and if we're tied at the end, I have a bonus question.
Okay.
For 1 point. And so watch what we'll do is we'll make that bonus point worth 3 points. That way it will, if there is a tie, it will definitely break the tie. Okay. Okay.
Cool.
All right. So you guys heard of Bob Rock?
Yes.
Everyone knows. Sorry, Bill. Well, come on. He's a well-known
one of the
guy.
greatest
All right.
producers.
So question number 1. Where was Bob Rock raised? A, Toronto, B, Victoria, C, Edmonton, D, Vancouver, or E, Ottawa? So you just state your name. All right, Dave, what are you putting?
Vancouver.
Vancouver for Dave. So we'll just put a D beside there.
Can you go through the other ones again?
Yep. So A, Toronto, Victoria, Edmonton, Vancouver, or Ottawa. And you can take the same one that Dave took if you want.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think.
Because that's how we could have a tie.
All right. I'm going to try Ottawa. I'm not sure about this one. I should know better, but I don't.
Okay, so Andrew's on Ottawa. Bell, Toronto, Victoria, Edmonton, Vancouver, or Ottawa? Where was he raised?
I don't know. Vancouver.
All right, so you're saying Vancouver like Dave? All right.
Yep.
All right, question 2. What was Bob Rock's first instrument before switching to guitar? A, piano, clarinet, violin, trumpet, or recorder? Piano, clarinet, violin, trumpet, or recorder?
None of them was my guess.
I don't know. I'll say trumpet.
All right, Belle's saying trumpet. All right.
I'll say recorder. He seems like the type.
Okay, Dave is putting recorder.
I'm going to go piano.
And Andrew is going
Probably
piano.
dead wrong on all these ones. Yeah, I know his albums,
Yeah.
but not his personal life.
No,
These would
exactly.
be
That's what
guesses.
but you are getting the answer. I guarantee you're getting the
It's
answer.
all
there.
Bob
Okay.
Rock.
It's all Bob Rock. Yeah. I told you it's gonna be tough.
Mm.
All right. Which of these albums did Bob Rock engineer but not produce?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Feelgood, Permanent Vacation, Sonic Temple from the Cult, Load, Metallica, Open Up and Say Ah by Poison. So, Dr. Feelgood, Permanent Vacation, Sonic Temple, Load, or Open Up and Say Ah.
Permanent Vacation.
Okay, so Dave is saying Permanent Vacation. Dr. Feelgood, Permanent Vacation, Sonic Temple, Load, or Open Up and Say Ah.
I'm gonna go Sonic Temple.
Sonic Temple, Cult.
Mm.
So Andrew. Okay.
That album does
Bell,
sound
any
different to the other
guesses?
three.
I mean, you got 1 in 5. I mean,
Have a guess, Bell.
I don't know.
Dr. Feelgood. Dr.
Feelgood.
Feelgood. All right. Okay.
I know.
Does like-
Yeah. Sonic Temple sounds different to everything else.
Mm.
It does indeed. All right. So number 4. Bob Rock's band, the Payolas, had a Juno-winning hit. Now, if you don't know what a Juno is, it's the same as a Grammy, but Canadian.
Mhm.
A Juno-winning hit called In Your Eyes, Eyes of a Stranger, Stranger in the Night, Eye for an Eye, or Goodbye to Rock and Roll. I'll repeat. Stranger in Your Eyes, A, B, Eyes of a Stranger, C, Stranger in the Night, D, Eye for an Eye, or E, Goodbye to Rock and Roll.
I'm gonna go E. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll go with that.
Andrew's going.
I'm thinking back to that You're in the Life of Metallica when they're in the studio and they're going through early Bob Rock things, and James is like, Bob used to be a girl.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, so what do we
I'll
got?
go
So
E.
we got
I think we're all going E. Is that right?
Yeah.
Goodbye to Rock and Roll.
No,
Bell?
I went D.
Okay,
All right.
D.
Bell went D, Eye for an Eye. All right, sorry. So that, and then Andrew and Dave both went E for Goodbye to Rock and Roll. Okay. Number 5. What was unique about the way Bob Rock recorded Dr. Feelgood? A, he used no compression whatsoever. B, the band was tracked live in one take. C, he forced sobriety and pre-production. D, he used MIDI for all the drums.
C.
Yeah.
So number 5, Andrew is saying C. Dave, you said
So Dave. Yep.
Yeah.
And Bell? I'll read them
I'll
again.
say no. It's fine. I'll say C.
Sobriety. So it's all three of us on that one there. So we're all right or we're all wrong.
That's right.
Middle ground.
That's right. Okay.
No.
Number 6. On the Black Album, how did Bob Rock achieve Hetfield's rhythm guitar tone? A, he quad-tracked on a line 6. B, he used one mic into a Marshall JCM 800. C, it was a dual amp setup with Mesa Boogie and Marshall. D, Fender twin reverb with chorus. Or E, he recorded all guitar parts acoustically and then overdubbed them with electric guitar.
Fuck. B or C. B or C. I'll go C.
All right, so number 6, Dave is going C. All right,
Tell
I'll
me
read
the
them out again. Yep. So quad tracked on a line 6. He quad tracked on a line 6. There was a one mic into a Marshall JCM 800. C, dual amp setup with Mesa Boogie and Marshall. D, Fender twin reverb with chorus. Or E, he recorded all the guitar parts acoustically and then overdubbed them with electric.
There's not
I'm
much
gonna go-
chorus.
No, I'm going to go B for mine.
Andrew
B or
is
C?
going B.
I'll eat dirt if it's not B or C.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Bell,
David.
the Bell's got a fucking migraine already. I'm sorry.
I've got no idea.
Well,
Well,
just pick
you
B
got-
or C. It's B or C. It has
Yeah,
to be.
You
has
guys
to
can
be.
help her out. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's an amp setup, and it wasn't anything complicated, so it's B or C.
Yeah.
Okay.
B was one mic into a Marshall JCM 800, or C, dual amp setup with Mesa Boogie and Marshall.
C.
Okay, there you go. Cool.
Okay. All right. Number 7. We're at the pointy end, people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What unusual role did Bob Rock take during Saint Anger, the recording of Saint Anger?
He played bass.
Well, let me just go through them all. Okay. Okay. A, he wrote all the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
B,
No.
he played drums. C, he sang backup vocals.
No.
D, he played bass guitar.
Yes.
Or E, he played all the guitar tracks. He played guitar and tracked all of Kirk's
D.
guitar parts using his own
D.
playing mixed in.
D.
Dave's
D.
right. It's D. Bell,
D.
just go D.
Just go D. This one's so fucking easy. It's not funny.
Yeah, this
It
one.
was.
This
I
one.
tried to make some of them easy.
It's
Come
not
on. All right.
easy.
All right, Bell.
D.
Are you saying the same as the lads? Read them out again.
I guess.
D.
I don't know.
It's
guess.
definitely D. Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to lead you astray on this one. It's D all the way through.
I'll
It's
put
D.
you down. Yeah. Well, that's what they took. So if you lead me astray, they're wrong too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. If we're wrong on this one, Dave and I both need to find something else to do with that time.
All right. Number
Yeah.
8.
Like not be a Metallica fan.
This is true. All right. Number 8. Which Canadian band did Bob Rock famously tell to ditch the falsetto during production? Simple Plan, Our Lady Peace, 3 Days Grace, the band Default, or Rush? Which Canadian band did he famously say ditch the falsetto during production? Simple Plan, Our Lady Peace, 3 Days Grace, Default, or Rush?
If it was Rush, I'll buy him a beer.
No, I'm going to go A on that one.
Simple Plan.
I'm going E. Cheers, Bob.
Andrews,
For the fun of it.
A. You're going to go
I'll
Rush.
say
Dave, are you doing Rush, Dave?
Dave's going Rush, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going Simple Plan.
Yep.
I'm just hopeful.
Simple
I don't
Plan,
know.
Our Lady Peace, 3 Days Grace, Default, or Rush. All you remember is A, B, C, D, or E. That's your question.
I'll say C.
Okay.
All right. Bill is saying C. All right. Number 9. We're almost there, guys.
Mhm.
What unique mic setup did Bob Rock use on Lars Ulrich's snare for the Black Album? A single overhead mic. B, top and bottom SM57s plus compressed AKG 414 overhead mix. C, a ribbon mic only. D, a mic inside the drum shell. Or E, all drums were recorded electronically first.
For
No.
the snare.
No.
So
That last one's definitely
his
no.
snare.
Fuck.
I'm going to go
Saw
C.
that video so many times.
Andrew's going C, so that's a ribbon mic only, Andrew.
For
That
So
was
the
pretty simple,
I'll read out.
yeah.
I'll read out the examples. So an overhead mic, single overhead mic. B, top and bottom SM57s plus compressed AKG 414 overhead mix. C, ribbon mic only. D, a mic inside the drum shell, or all drums were recorded electronically first.
I'll see.
C.
Dave
David
was on
saying C. You
Bill's
said,
like, nerd talk.
I told you I'd made this
Obviously,
stuff.
Bell hasn't seen a year and a half in the life of Metallica, and I think me and Andrew grew up watching that video multiple times.
On repeat.
Oh, look, me too. All right. All right.
I'll say B for Bell.
B for Bell. All right, cool. There you go.
All right, I didn't get Andrew or Dave. What did you? No, I got
C.
Dave.
They both went C.
Oh, Dave went C as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
both went C.
Okay.
I just remember when the snare broke and Lars cracked a hissy, and they're like, "Fuck the day," and yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ribbons are fickle. Yeah,
they can be.
I
Very
wouldn't
fickle,
ask you to do a drum roll if your arm fell off.
fell off. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Number 10.
My throat is really fucked up right now.
Number 10 is which unreleased artist did Bob Rock reportedly work with in an alt country style project? Avril Lavigne, Chad Kroeger, Alanis Morissette, Nelly Furtado, or Sarah McLachlan?
Ooh,
Avril
unreleased.
Lavigne. Yep. Avril Lavigne, Chad Kroeger, Alanis Morissette, Nelly Furtado, or Sarah McLachlan? Of course, they're all Canadian.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of.
No
So
fucking
Avril
idea.
Lavigne, Chad Kroeger, of course, from Alanis Morissette, Nelly Furtado, and Sarah McLachlan. If
I'll just
either
go
one
C, thanks to Two-Headed Dog.
C. That's
All right.
Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, why not?
Just, yeah, I'm gonna go contrary, and I'm probably gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna be contrarian just for the fun. I'm gonna go E, Sarah McLachlan.
Andrew is E. Bill.
Unfortunately, I heard Skater Boy the other day when I was
Oh yeah, yeah.
being subjected to a bunch of pop rock. So I'll say Avril.
Avril Lavigne for Bill. Okay, that was question 10. We are done.
Yep.
So there is a bonus question. Like I said will be worth 3 points
If we need it.
If we need it. So, all right, I'll go all the way back to question 1 and I'll read them out. So, question 1: where was Bob Rock raised? So we had Toronto, Victoria, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Ottawa. Dave said Vancouver. Bell said Vancouver. Andrew said Ottawa. And the answer was nobody got it. Victoria.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, so
Real
nobody
suck.
got that.
I was like, I'm not going to get this one.
Okay. Yep. All right, number 2. What was Bob Rock's first instrument before switching to guitar? We had piano, clarinet, violin, trumpet, or recorder. Andrew said piano. And trumpet was chosen by Bell, and D
Dave
was
took
recorder. Dave took recorder. And the answer is violin. Nobody got that one as well.
There you go.
We all suck.
We all suck. Oh no, we
Yep.
suck again.
Yep.
I need to get that. I need to get
we
that
suck
meme.
again.
I need to get the gift to play whenever we get things wrong like this.
Yep.
Just
0, 0. Okay. Question 3.
0.
Sorry, guys. I just can't keep track. All right. Well, you guys are all in the lead. All right.
Or in last.
You're all in the lead. Yeah, or last. Yeah. All right. Which of these albums did Bob Rock engineer but not produce? Dr. Feelgood, Permanent Vacation, Sonic Temple, A Load, or Open Up and Say Aw. And the answer for that one was Permanent Vacation.
There you go.
And
well done.
Nobody took it.
Dave took it.
No, he didn't. No, Dave
Yeah, I
took
did.
E.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he took
Yep.
permanent vacation. Dave gets that one. He took permanent
Wait.
vacation.
Wait.
I took
You're right.
permanent
Sorry,
vacation.
you're right. I was looking at the wrong one. You're right. You did. Sorry. All right. So
I should have been taking notes, but I got
should
it
have
in my
been
head.
taking. No, I just looked down. That's all I had. All right. So Dave, Dave, you get it.
Dave
I
is in
win.
the lead.
You win.
I
Dave
won.
is
winning.
Dave is in the lead.
So far,
That's-
yeah, you might have won. It might be like
Dave.
1 to nothing, and that's it.
Wouldn't that be something? All right. Okay. Number 4. There we go. All right. Number 4 is Bob Rock's band, the Payolas, had a Juno-winning hit called Eyes of a Stranger, and no one took it. So the Eyes of a Stranger was
Wow.
not chosen. So we had, Bell took Eye for an Eye, and
That was
Andrew
closest.
and Dave both took Goodbye
Yeah.
to Rock and Roll.
Okay.
All right.
There you
So
Bob Rock is
got
cranked
that.
up.
Yep. Give me a second. So that's 0.
I'm hearing that number a lot. I'm hearing 0 a lot.
Sorry, man. I can't help it. All right, but Dave's in the lead now with 1 point.
Yeah. Yep,
All
I've
right.
got that. Dave's on 1 point.
All right. What was unique about the way Bob Rock recorded Dr. Feelgood?
Yeah.
All right. So everybody
Over.
took C. Everyone took C, which was he enforced sobriety and pre-production.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody gets it. That's 3 points to everybody. Yay.
Hey. But Dave's still out front. 2 for Dave, 1 for the rest of us.
Yep.
Be interesting.
Okay. Now that's the way it goes. All right, number 6. We're almost there. Sorry, guys. I won't take up much more time. All right. Number 6. We've got on the Black Album, how did Bob Rock achieve Hetfield's guitar tone? The answer was a dual amp setup with Mesa and Marshall.
Dave, get that one.
And nobody took it. Or did they take it? No, no one took it. So Dave took number 6.
I don't know what I took.
Yeah, you did. You took it.
I think Dave took that one.
I did.
Dave and Bill both took that. So yeah, Andrew, you got it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Us.
Yep. There you go.
Yep.
Fuck,
All
I thought that might happen.
I
I
was looking at like, wait a minute, they got that one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Number 7. This is half the fun. Just me getting everything fucked up. All right. Number 7. What unusual role did Bob Rock take on recording of Saint Anger?
Yeah.
And
Bass.
everybody said he played bass, but the actual answer was he sang backup vocals. No, he played bass. He played
Yeah,
bass.
I was about to say, don't gaslight us on this one, man. We know that.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. All right. Number 8. That was good. Everyone got it. You listened to Bell, you got the score. You did.
Mhm.
Yeah,
All right.
I
Number
mean,
8. Well, hey, number 8. Which Canadian band did Bob Rock famously tell to ditch the falsetto during production? Andrew said A Simple Plan, 3 Days Grace from Bell, and Rush from Dave. And the actual answer was Our Lady Peace. So that
Was it really?
0. Yep. And which he does falsetto a lot. So he must have really pissed
I
him
was
off.
shocked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he would have. Yep. All right.
Wow.
What unique mic setup did Rock use on Lars's snare drum for the album? Yep. So the answer was B, a top and bottom SM57's compressed AKG
With the AKG. Fuck.
with the overhead mix, and so that means Bell is the only one that got that.
Yeah.
Good on
Wow.
you, Bell. Oh,
I
Bell
could
and
just
Dave
hear
are
it.
tied. Bell and Dave are tied. This is crazy.
yeah.
That
I'll
had
add
to be
it all
sealed,
up.
dude.
Yeah.
All right, number 10. Which unreleased artist did Bob Rock reportedly work with on an alt country style project?
Yep.
The answer was, drumroll please, it was untaken. It was Nelly Furtado.
Oh.
Oh.
So no one got that. A big 0. All right. So what
we're
is the
tied.
final score? So we got Bell on 1. I'm just counting it up, adding it up. All right. So that's 0 for that.
I've got the score here, Jeff, if you want it.
All right. What's the score?
There you go, man.
It's 4, 4, and 2. So I'm out. Bell and Dave are on a tie.
Okay.
Right.
Hit us with the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Hit us with the tiebreaker. All right. What is the full name of the studio where Bob Rock records?
Is this multiple choice?
No, it's not. You have to pick it. So you have
Well,
to
I
get
don't
it.
know.
If I know.
I can give you some of the title. It's,
Bob Rock's Hard Emporium.
All right. To make it easier, I'll do this.
you got to give something, Jeff. There's got to be
No,
a clue.
I got no idea, man.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. I thought you guys were a little bit on the ball. That's okay.
I know he
Alright.
did the Black Album and Dr. Feelgood. That's all I know about Bob Rock.
No, it's. I know it's something. I know it's in Canada.
How's it going, eh?
Yeah, hey, buddy. I think it's in, but it is in year and a half. Dave, I know it's the one in year and a half. I think Sebastian Bach did albums there too, early on.
All right, and
Something one.
No, something Valley, Mountain, something like that. It's.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm out anyway. Bell, take a guess. One Valley Mountain or some shit.
Get a word right, and you get the point.
okay, we are okay. So your choice is Anset Studios, A. Orange Orchards, Studio, House Recording Studio, Little Mountain Sound Studio, or Horse Ranger Studio.
Little Mountain Sound Studio.
Yeah, Bell gets it. I was already out.
What are you taking, Andrew?
Andrew.
You're Andrew.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
You didn't
Right.
guess.
Bell wins.
That's all right.
That's
And what did Dave take?
He didn't take anything.
He didn't take any.
He's
All right.
being stupid.
He had a guess beforehand, and so he was out. That's why he's playing.
I
that way.
don't think it was a problem.
All right. So what's the final score? That's 3 points.
That's
No,
well,
I
yeah, but
I cannot win this fucking.
multiple choice.
I'm sorry, I made it tough, but hey, it was fun. It was fun. At least I had it.
I had fun, but I'm a big.
It makes no
nerd for this
sense.
shit. Yeah.
Well,
exactly. Andrew
I
wins.
wanted.
No, I don't. I lost.
No,
Blatantly.
you won, Bill.
Yeah. Bell wins.
I did not win.
Well, because it was tied between you and Dave. He didn't answer, and you got the final 3 points.
Yeah, but those two were like, they're kind of workshopping what they thought it was, and then I come fucking Bradburying in.
That's
and
exactly right,
friggin-
Brad. That's a Bradbury win.
Take a
man.
Bradbury.
Come
It's okay.
on, Take it.
Better than taking a devil.
All right.
But anyway,
All right.
Michael's
now-
gone. Bella's the queen of the nerds. So there we go.
I
was
am
a-
so
that was a
sorry.
nerd fest.
So yeah.
Oh,
listen,
hell.
all right. So here's the deal. So it's got a scoring. So actually, I used the internet to get all this. I got it all up. Someone had actually done this, and I copied pretty much most of it.
Oh, cool.
So I added some stuff of my
Efficient.
own. Yeah. Well, why not, right?
Yeah.
So I added some of the things. There was only 3. I turned it into 5 choices. All right. So the scoring is, if you got 9 or 10, you were a certified sonic alchemist. 7 to 8 right, you were a mixing board warrior.
Oh my god.
Wow.
5 to 6 correct, you were assistant engineer level. And below 5, you owe Bob Brock an apology in a case of Molson Canadian, which you all fucking do.
I'm going to give him an apology, but that's about it, mate. I'll send him a bottle of homebrew later on if I get to know his address. So there we go. And Michael's gone, awesome collection of games. Great game, Jeff. So there we go. It is very nerd focused, that one, but it was fun. It was a good challenge, man. So I appreciate that. That was good.
It was. Right. I told you it'd be tough.
No, it was good, though. That was good.
You guys don't realize behind the scenes, they're always going at me because I'm never hard enough. So I had to.
This time around,
I
think you made up for that. So
I don't know, Jeff. I don't recall saying that. I find all your things really hard, because it just pick.
Well, you always say, "Come on, Jeff, challenge me." So I'm like, "All right, I'll do that."
I don't know about that.
I'm going to want screenshots for receipts here, man. That's what I'm going to want as we go through. Okay, all righty. Let's get on to the next bit. That was fun, Jeff. Thank you very much for that. I don't want to let us fall. We're not behind yet, but we will be if we don't.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
So, that's all right. Next one, though, is the Global Groove part of the show, which is us exploring new music in 2025, international or otherwise. We do, lead with international, but we can choose Australian if you choose to do so. But Belle had the call this week, and she went with Deathless Legacy with Damnatio Eterna, I believe it's pronounced. This is 11 tracks, 58 minutes. The 7th studio album, I believe, from the Italian band, released March 25 via Scarlet Records. March 2025, I should say, not the date. 2 videos can come from this one in Miserere and Sanctified. This is a full-fledged horror metal concept centered on Malcolm, a subordinate demon tasked by Lucifer to corrupt a priest and guarantee his eternal damnation. Not a band that we've spent a lot of time on the show here, but that might change in the future as things go through. Belle put it forward as her choice for this week, so without any further ado, take it away.
Cool. Yes, Damnatio is, I think, how they pronounce it throughout the album. Damnatio Eterna, which simply translates to eternal damnation.
Yep.
And yep, it is the concept album of the rock opera kind, so story based rather than theme based. So the story follows Malcolm, a disgraced demon banished to the lowest circles of hell. He's tasked by Lucifer with redeeming his status by condemning a priest's soul to eternal damnation. His first target, so bear with me, I'm going to actually go in depth to the story here. Cool. And this is mostly in the words of the band. His first target is Don Bernardo, a devout priest serving a small, humble parish. After studying the sins of the faithful in the priest's confessional and exploiting his vulnerabilities through a demonic illusion, Malcolm induces a nocturnal emission in Don Bernardo, making him ritually impure under church law. This act, referred to as defectio dispositionis, this is a really tricky Italian word, dispositionis corporis, would disqualify the priest from celebrating mass. Yet the sacristan, unaware of the priest's inner turmoil, insists he officiate, leaving him no time for purification. Consumed by conflict, Bernardo conducts the mass with unclean hands, desecrating the sacred rite and committing an unspeakable sin. Meanwhile, an extraordinary proclamation shakes hell to its core. The church announces a special jubilee offering absolution for all sins without the need for confession, requiring only that the faithful pass through one of the holy doors. For Lucifer, this is an insult he cannot tolerate. He commands Malcolm to escalate his mission. This time, he must secure the damnation of a cardinal. Malcolm sets his sights on Cardinal Richelieu, a wealthy and influential figure. Believing that the cardinal's downfall will be effortless, he devises a scheme involving the seductive advances of a nun possessed by demonic forces. However, his plan doesn't work. The cardinal is unmoved by the temptation. To Malcolm's horror, he discovered a far darker truth. Richelieu is a pedophile. With the stakes higher than ever, Malcolm must act swiftly to ensure the cardinal's soul is dragged to hell before he can pass through a holy door and erase his unspeakable sins. Damnatio Eterna explores the razor-thin line between the sacred and the profane, guilt and redemption. Through its raw depiction of spiritual corruption, the tale offers an unflinching look at humanity's darkest side and a haunting Gothic journey into the depths of temptation and eternal perdition. So that's the story and theme of the album. The eternal damnation of what should be the purest of souls. Now, all's good and well to come up with a cool story for a concept album, but if you can't back it up with the equally good music, then it doesn't matter how good the story is, your album is going to be shit. So, lucky they're a fantastic band because musically, right off the bat, they nail this. From the very first bar, when the choir comes in, you immediately get that fire and brimstone vibe with the religious overtones helped along by the church organ sound on the keyboard. And it's such a great intro track and perfectly sets the scene and the tone for this story. And they don't stay there for the rest of the album. It's quite a diverse listen. And as the story progresses, the music continues to set the tone for whatever is happening lyrically. So besides the mainline metal genre that this band sits comfortably in, we also get some black metal vibes in the song Oblivion, the sultry blues vibes in Get On Your Knees, and some jazz flavors in the keyboards and bass in that stunning ballad Sanctified. And although this isn't a genre, although I think it should be, the last song, Gehenna, even gives me Rammstein vibes.
No, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So the diversity we get in their music comes from the different musical tastes of the band members coming together and creating something completely different to at least what I've ever heard in an album. But as I said earlier, Deathless Legacy is first and foremost a metal band, but their music also has rock sensibilities. Some of the melodies and phrasing definitely sound more rock than metal, which is fine by me because it's like the best of both worlds in this band. Plus, Steva, which is her stage name, the lead singer, definitely has a rock voice. And the beauty of that is when you get a metal band with a rock vocalist, the music becomes a lot more accessible sounding overall. But honestly, she could sing whatever she wants and I'd happily listen to it. And her diction is very good too. I appreciate that because if you're telling a story, you want to hear the story. Actually, do you know who she reminds me of vocally? She reminds me of that singer, was that One and Done battle we did? So that Beautiful Sin album, I think it was Rowan that put it forward. She had kind of a bit of a grit tone in her voice, like powerful voice, but just that similar tone.
Yeah,
in
no,
her voice.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. If you've seen any of the Deathless Legacy videos or if they're live shows, not live shows, but like on YouTube, if you've seen them perform live, you'll see that the band's imagery is a big part of their, what they're about. As self-repressed weirdos, they love bringing that inner weirdness out and putting it on display in their on-stage personas and performances. And their live shows include a sixth band member who comes on stage in a purely theatrical sense and adds an extra dimension to their performances. I don't know, think Alice Cooper and, he has people come on and, they just kind of are there for performance value. So anyway, to wrap this up and get back to the album, it closes out just as perfectly what you would hope for this particular concept album, and it's pretty fucking dramatic. So after the main song part of Gehenna, which is the last track, the last minute of that track just amps up with the symphonic elements and the choir coming back in to reach this epic crescendo. I love it. It's perfect. Fun fact, the band wrote an actual book about this album, about this concept, a novel or maybe a novella. I don't know how long it is, but it's the full story, so more than just like the annotated version that I told you earlier. Nice. I'd love to get my hands on a copy of that. Apparently there's also a card game
about
this album, so that's randomly cool. Anyway, there's no doubt that this album will be in my top 10s this year. I fucking love everything about it. Performances, concept, the keyboard. Fuck, I love the keyboard in this. Just everything though. Very hard to pick favorite tracks, but if I had a gun to my head, I would pick Communion, Oblivion, and Sanctified. And
nice.
This gets a 10. That's two 10s in one show.
Wow. You're having a good night, Belle. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, let's see if everyone agrees. Dave, let's go to you next on this one.
Okay. Yeah, I first heard this when it came out. And it was one of those holy shit, this is fucking cool moments. Heavy, it's dark, impressive musicianship, interesting song composition, interesting lyrics, and a fun theme of sticking it to religion, which I always love. Blasphemy is fun. Lots of songs have a beautiful keyboard melody set against the heavy guitar chords, which being a guitar player, I love the heavy guitar chord shit, but then I also love a cool melody, and some keyboard tones are just beautiful. This is both haunting and catchy. Everything is captured and balanced really nicely in the production. There's different moods and tempos. There's heavy and rocking tracks, and there's some slow tracks. There's some brooding stuff, and then there's the sultry tracks as well. With Get on Your Knees, reminds me a little bit of Nightwish at times when they did Slow Love Slow. I imagine when they did that Nightmare Jazz, they switched just for that one track. It's a bit of a Nightwish vibe. And watching one of their music videos earlier today, I got Nightwish era with Annette Olsen crossed with current version of Ghost. Just brings those two together. So this obviously I'm going to fucking love this because this has two of my loves into one, and plus it sticks it to religion, which is always good. Indulgenta one of these fucking songs has a
I know.
that song has one of those haunting keyboard melodies. I get a bit of a Nightwish Oceanborn, like second album with that one, but it's darker. It's like Nightwish meets Halloween, not like the movie, not the band. You got that, but that kind of tone, that feel. Oblivion is like opening a music box that also reveals the opening scene of a horror movie. If you love horror, you're definitely going to love this. Horror meets metal, meets blasphemy. Mother of God, there's an excellent clean tone in that. That fucking tone is beautiful. Clean tone gets underappreciated. There's so much we can do with a dirty tone, distortion, and everything else. But a cool clean tone, with maybe a bit of reverb, chorusing, whatever you want, but just something that cuts through everything else that's happening on this busy production. And then the final epic track. Now, throughout my many years of doing this show, especially probably the last 5 years, I've spoken many times about so many albums being let down by the closing track. Battle Beast is one that comes to mind. We have all this epic stuff, and you want that last final payoff. An album like this needs something with really grand composition and energy that just keeps building and unfolding perfectly, and this delivered. So many times you can get your fucking hopes up with something that's brilliant, and then that last track just lets you down. And they just fucking nailed it. I cannot pick standouts on this because every song is brilliant for very many different reasons. Each song is memorable and unique. This is an excellent album. I give this 9 out of 10, and standouts, I'll throw a fucking dart at the track listing. And it's just brilliant.
Nice. Cool. All right. 2 for 2 so far. Jeff, you're on.
Yeah, I liked this album right from the get-go. I didn't know them. Maybe I've heard them in the past. I don't know. But so I was pleasantly surprised. And I got Ghost vibes. There was definitely, they're taking some inspiration.
Yeah.
I get
There's a lot of that
saying
online. A quick Google search about this band and a lot of comparisons, and want this band to tour and open for Ghost. There's a lot of shit there.
I got that, and I also got what you said about Nightwish too. It's certain, just a little bit, just some of the more esoteric elements. I don't know, who knows? But there is a vibe there. But there's another band that I picked up that they reminded me a lot of as well, and nobody here mentioned them, and that is the band that I think everyone here fucking hated, but me. That's the band, and it's a shame because their album is fucking excellent. You talk about sticking it up to religion, Dave. The band Dogma, you bet.
You know what? I sent a track to my friend Ben, and he's like very much Dogma vibes. So yeah, you're right. I don't like it. But you're right.
Yeah, I got it. So it that's what it reminded me of, and I like the singer from Dogma, and she kind of reminds me of the singer from this. It's not the same, but it's kind of similar. And so look, all up, this is I really like the theme of this album. I loved the darkness. I love that there's something about that shit that just draws you in. Gives you a lot to go through, and if you really want to sink your teeth into, you can. This is not bubblegum rock, people. This is really deep shit. And it's great. It's great. And it ties it to folklore and history and religion and all the things that, there's a reason why I love The fucking Exorcist as a movie. It's because it's got all of that in there, right? And I'm not a religious person, but it's a very, very cool thing.
Yeah.
So I like that. And I think that they nailed this. I think that the theme here is brilliant. I'm going to look for that book, Bill. I didn't know that they'd written a book, but I will look for it because I like that sort of shit. Yeah, Dave, if we get that book, we should do a review on that. That'd be really cool. I know you like. If I can find it, I'll. If I can find it, I'll hook you up with a copy.
Okay.
And well, if I can find a copy, I'll send it to everybody. How's that?
Just there you go first.
We can all do a review. That would be awesome.
Book club.
That would be awesome. But this album for me really does tick all the boxes. It scratches the itch. It's sort of everything that I was looking for. I'm glad that it came across, and I had the chance to listen to it and review it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 9 shots as well. This is brilliant. Wow. Fucking great shit.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Standout tracks like Dave. Yeah. Just pick one. Close your eyes and throw it down. They're all great.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Oh well, Bill, you're on a winner so far. One more to go, and that's me. The singer you were looking for with Beautiful Sin was that Magali Luton, I think her name was. That was the one that you were referencing there.
Cool.
As has been said, I haven't got a lot more to add to this one. It's dark. It's very gothic in the best way for this style of music. I loved, in particular, that balance of that darkness against her vocal. I thought that was a glorious contrast. Her vocal on this music really makes this one stand out. It's funny how, Belle, I know you really don't get into Ghost, but all of us have picked up a Ghost vibe one, which I find remarkable.
Really strong. Really strong.
I find it quite remarkable. You love this, but you can't do Ghost. It's not that they're the same band, but if these
Belle,
two
explain yourself.
Together,
what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm confused.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because
it's very Ghost.
You don't like Ghost, but this album is a lot.
But
like
they're not Ghost. They're Deathless Legacy. They're a completely different band.
But jump online, type in Deathless Legacy /Ghost, and it's a global comparison.
Hey, well, which their own.
It's all good. It's
very
just
early Ghost. The first 2 Ghost albums in particular.
Yeah, try the early stuff, Bill. You might like that more than the later stuff.
You're free,
especially the second album. Like the second album, fuck me.
Yeah, I think you'd like the early stuff more than the later stuff. But anyway, we're not trying to convince her to be a Ghost fan. But I just thought, I just wanted to make a note that seeing those two play a show together live would be fucking epic.
Yes.
Like, I'd love to see these two guys.
This would be a perfect opening.
Wouldn't that? Yeah.
I'd write down a vision for that. But anyway, onto this album. This one has great lyrics. The storytelling is fantastic. The concept is well executed on this one. I didn't quite get the depth. I haven't had as much time as I would like to get into that level of depth on it, but that knowing more layers to it makes me want to go and explore deeper again.
Yeah.
This is, of course, all led by the wonderful hypnotic and seductive vocals that everyone around that leans into that aspect perfectly, which is really well done across the board. Everyone plays their supporting role perfectly to the main part, which I think everyone has just clicked on this, and it's just worked well. Nothing quite like a band in complete, sync and flow the way they are on this album here. I think it's got great songs. It's really well written. It's entertaining and engaging from beginning to end for nearly an hour long these days. It needs to be, and this one nails it. I think, Belle, you mentioned at the end, and Dave did too, Gehenna is a fantastic closing track on this one that does need to get a bit of a shout out. I think they fucking nailed the brief and how you close an album out.
There's a live clip on YouTube.
Oh, cool. I'll check that out. But what I loved about this one in particular was that one of the first notes that I had when I listened to it for the first time and how it stayed with me was how there's an element of this, how you can have all this weight and heaviness without sacrificing the melody and the beauty. And I think that's a lesson for so many in that. I appreciate the brutality of things when it's fitting, but you can have this space where that contrast, that light and shade, that point and counterpoint can really, when it's balanced well, can lead to something special, which is what they've managed to achieve with this album. There's some great hooks in this as well. It stays with you. I love the journey, not only the story, but also in the way the peaks and the troughs, have you drink, musically on this one, that it does everything musically and thematically and storytelling wise to give you a full journey. I like the mixing on this one. The focus changes here and there, like the push and pull across. It was great. Everything, there was great layering in this one to build the atmosphere, which I thought was fantastic as well. Like there's loads of atmosphere in this one. Yes, we talked about the synth and like for me, the ear candy, the layering, the production, the hard panning in particular. And I think it was either Mother of God or Nightshade. There was a synth moment where it's just fucking keys and this hard panning left and right, rapid attack. And it was like fucking fantastic, like using the studio, not overproducing because there's still warmth and organic tones, but using the tricks of the trade.
Panning is not overproducing. That's one of the oldest tricks in the fucking book, and it works so effectively.
It's not about over layering things. It's about using what you have and creating the space and the dimensions. You know, the whole less can be more.
Because everybody has a left and right ear. You're not overproducing. You're just sonically making it sonically interesting.
Using things like whispers to drag you in, and then the punch of the guitar and the drum to fucking push you back out again. The compositional tricks, along with the push and pull of bringing up the vocals and back again. Those things, and like you said, Dave, it's not overproducing, but using the tricks of the trade well to drag the listener in. This album does that. Like I said, loads of ear candy in this one. I think the great tones, great balance across the board. It's very nice to listen to. Very, very nice to listen to. I really did enjoy this one. But what I thought helped that, or was even the better part, was the overall composition. They've got great riffs, but the drama with that synth and the choir and all those little bits and pieces going to this, like this has that demonic church feel to it from beginning to end, and they like it fits. Like you can hear the chamber choir singing these songs kind of thing and feel the floor reverberating as listen to it. I thought that was fantastic. That atmosphere, that depth. Great solos from both the guitar and the keys. Great rhythm section. This really has it all, especially if you like it a bit darker, which this one clearly is. The vocal rasp per vocal is just chef's kiss. I'm glad Bell put this one forward. I think we all are, obviously. I have to dig deeper into this band. I'd love to be. When I've listened to this album.
What, Bell, 6 albums they've got?
7 now.
7.
Yeah.
7? Yeah. Go and check out the back catalog. Is this based off this album? Fuck me.
Yeah, well, even this album, then like Spotify does this thing where it plays songs to you afterward. It's played me a few other songs.
Yes, same thing.
That's cool though. Like I've loved all the songs I've heard. It's like I've got to go and dig more into this one because I liked this one, and whatever I heard next was like, okay, it's just as good. Let's go dive
multiple times in different songs.
That's it. So it's not just this album. That what I've heard of other things, it's like, okay, I've got to go and explore. This is cool. Yeah, Bell, well done. This is one that I'll go back to, and I'm not sure about my top 10s yet, but I'm definitely going to go back to this one and listen to this band a lot more. So this is a great find. I appreciate bringing it to me because I've never heard this band before until now. So this is a good one.
Yeah.
9 shots for me. I did pick standouts. Get on Your Knees, Communion, and Gehenna was one of my standouts there as well. So some great tracks there. There's something for everyone in this album, whether you like the theme or not. Musically speaking, there is something here for absolutely everyone, which I thought was a nice, neat trick. I'll get to audience comments in a second. Before I do, Dave, you're up next week. Are you doing Wednesday 13 or are you changing tack?
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Wednesday.
We're going to keep the theme going, folks. So Wednesday 13 is up
Hail
next.
Satan.
There, we're in a vibe, aren't we? What do we got here? Jolie said, fantastic album, 10 shots, and Ghost agreed, Dave, and her voice was awesome. So there we go. It's got some more thoughts on that one.
It's all Ghost.
Yeah, it is. Adrian's here going, what's up, mate? Good to see you. Hopefully you're keeping well. Michael says 10 shots, Deathless Legacy. Great review, Bell. Get on Your Knees, fell flat. Got 0 votes from Tastemakers for my nomination. Not sure they get this band, but well worth a listen. I'm not sure what happened there. I think it was just up against a tough week, but yeah, I loved the in the context for me. Just so you know, Michael, for me, it's funny how I picked it as a favorite on this album. I think the context of the album makes a big difference to how I received it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
once again, the Nightwish, slow, love, slow, that whole nightmare jazz. It's that point in the album that you need a shift.
What it does to the album is more important than the standalone song. Yeah. If you'd have put your hand forward instead, I would have gone for that.
Pretty sure that's the demonic vision that that he plants in the priest's head is quite a I think it's seductive kind of vision that he shouldn't be having as a priest, you know. So
but going back to Bell's previous Frantic Amber, that song Hell's Bell, when that was in Tastemakers, that song on itself is jarring, but in the context of the album it works. So
that's the thing,
it needs some songs don't work on their own, but work in the context of an album.
Or at least, the context matters. The context helps to sell it to you, kind of thing. So I think that's the case of the album. Because, like, I didn't vote for it in Tastemakers, but I did give it a standout on this album. So it gives you more weight to consider in that regard. So, I don't think it's a case of it being a bad song or no love for it. I think just the album helps it stand out so much more in a good way. Like
it's what comes before and after that makes something musical.
That left and right balance to everything. It's the way it plays the parts fine. But I love that song. As soon as it heard it on this context, I was like, fuck yeah, I get it now.
Yeah, it's unique.
Yeah. Vinny says, think I have to pay more attention to Deathless Legacy. I think you'll like it, Vinny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael's gone, yeah, Jeff Dogma, love them too. So there we go. Michael's also said, worth mentioning that everything said about the singer, she is a founding member. Yes, she is. Her and one other one are definitely founding members.
Yeah.
They were a cover
drummer.
band, apparently.
I'm not sure.
What's it?
Okay.
No, they were a cover band of a band, the Death SS. They were like a horror band that started in the early 90s, and each member dressed up as like a classic, like one's a vampire, one's a werewolf.
Wow.
And Deathless Legacy were a cover band of this band.
Wow.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
David,
jump on Google, get I can't really remember, but it's just a quick thing. But yeah, this band started as a cover band of this other band.
Wow. All right. Have to go digging for sure. Definitely. There's a lot
digging
there.
this weekend, man. I'm going to go through the catalog. Fuck that.
Yeah, there's some founding to do. Vinny's gone, I agree with that. Even a little Visions of Atlantis with the theater involved. There we go. And Palantis Earth finally caught a stream. Hey, in Vietnam, guys. Well, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in.
Daniel, dude, my old workmate.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So,
hey, man, glad you jumped on.
Yeah. Cheers. I'm glad you're enjoying the show.
Was it like 10 o'clock in Vietnam?
Yeah, I don't know what time it is in Vietnam. It's nearly 10
They were like 5 hours behind or something when I was there.
No, okay. Well,
hey, Daniel, man. Like, no surprise I'm drunk. How many Fridays did I fucking rock up fucking crawling into the fucking...
This is why.
Hey, dude, remember when I fell off that ladder?
Yeah. You're doing well. All right, Michael's gone, correct, Dave, cover band first. So there we go. So there's more backup on that one too. I have to go digging. All right,
yeah, cover band first. That's what I said.
Did not know.
3 hours behind us, they are.
Oh, there you go. So it's something like 7:30 over there. All right.
Perth time. No, Perth time.
Oh, Palantis here, gone too many hungover Daves. So there we go. Well done. I'm glad you're here, man. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. I'm going to put a couple of reference tracks into the comments now. They're in the description like everything else is here. Make sure you check these ones out in case you haven't, because there's definitely one band you probably haven't heard of if you haven't been following us for a while. But we're going to get into the battle now. This is time for the King of the Riff of the evening. This is round one of our All-Australian edition. Round one sees INXS Kick going up against Tragic Earth, Hatred and Tolerance. We have seeded this out with play count. So just so everyone knows, AC/DC with Highway to Hell and Audio Rain, the perfect seed, were the top two seeds as voted by the audience. Then, in order of play count, determining after we voted our albums in, INXS Kick got number 3 seed, Tragic Earth got to be the number 10 seed, just due to play count as things play out. So, this is the first week. Bell locked in INXS. Dave locked in Tragic Earth, which is where this gets a bit more interesting to see, because we've got two lock albums going head-to-head against each other. So, let's get into it. Here we go. This one is a proper mismatch on paper, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? In the blue corner, we've got the untouchable juggernaut that is INXS, riding in with a monster of a record in Kick, a world-dominating classic, dripping with hits, polish, and charisma. And in the red corner, stepping into the arena with everything to prove, it's Tragic Earth and their defiant debut and only album, Hatred and Tolerance. There's no stream counts to lean on, no radio anthems, just raw energy, underground hunger, and a spot in this battle earned through the sheer passion from fans like David himself, for example. This is probably the biggest so far David versus Goliath battle we've had on these streams, I think. No question about that. But sometimes the slingshot lands. So let's see what happens this time around. Let's have the stadium filler going up against the Scrappers in this one here. And we're going to throw to Bell first this time around with the higher seed pick. So, Bell, over to you.
I'm just going to call it. I'm going to go with INXS tonight. Not because I put this album forward, not because it's been a lifetime favorite, but just because I like it better. This week was my first time hearing the Tragic Earth album. And I know Dave is a big fan from seeing them live. And I can absolutely hear this when I was listening to the album. They would have been a fun band to see live. And they're obviously great musicians. There's some cool riffs, great lyrics in this album. But as far as that for me. That energy getting across into a recording, I just wasn't feeling it. Like I could hear how it would have been live. I wasn't kind of getting that energy in the recording. That's just me. But INXS's kick, however, there's something in that recording that it's like pure adrenaline for me. I don't sort of think, oh, this would be great live. It's just, it's all about the recording for this album. Like as soon as that echoey quality comes out in Guns in the Sky, I just instantly get happy vibes. So yeah, anyway, so INXS for me.
All right, cool. Well, it'll be no surprise, and I'm going to throw to Dave next to give his counterpoint because he chose the other album in this battle tonight. So, Dave, over to you.
Yeah, like there's a T-shirt up there. It's been up there for fucking retired because the band is no longer with us, and bought the CD because I love this album. This beat Metallica in 2016, and I was given the vinyl by Mick. Yeah. Mick, one of our ex-panel members on the Hard Rock Show. And I was thinking, I'll let him know that like your old album, mate, is up on the show. But for some reason, he's unfriended me. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there. But
I'm not sure.
All that bullshit aside, I fucking love this album. I could talk for ages about both of these albums, but I'm going to keep it to 5 very simple points. These are 2 very different styles, but both have catchy and memorable songs. And they cover different moods, tempos, and energies, which is what you need from a great album. It's always a good thing to create an interesting listen throughout your albums. Point number 2, lyrics. INXS have countless hit songs with catchy choruses. You hear these songs a couple of times, you know the words. You know how to sing along to these songs. Tragic Earth, I was instantly drawn to the lyrics within this band. Social commentary, inner turmoil, fear, insecurity, uncertainty. While Hutchinson wrote great lyrics, I think he really just peeled back the first layer. Emma went all in on every fucking theme he explored. 3, Battle of the Ballads. Everyone knows Never Tear Us Apart. I love that song. It's fantastic. I love it. Excellent song. Honestly, I think Overflow is a much more emotive and vulnerable song. This is a rock album that came out when everyone says like fucking Britney Spears rocked. This album rocks. It's got some balls and it's got some vulnerability, and you need that balance. You got the guns, you got the roses. That's what's always attracted me to rock music. You got both. You can be fucking manly and everything, but you have to show your heart. 4, musically, both have hooks and riffs and melodies. Tragic Earth just gets me moving more. I saw this band 3 or 4 times. My neck fucking hurt afterwards because these are just headbangers, man. They were so cool live, and even just listening to this song, this album this week, oh man, it's infectious.
Take you back.
5, Pretty Vacant, Necessary Commentary, Overflow, Voices. 4 songs, just to name a few, in this amazing album, which are all very different to each other, but still very obviously Tragic Earth. A lot of bands could learn a lot from the diverse songwriting from this band. It's a shame the band got fucked over by so many other things that fucked this country. We need to support local bands, and out of all the bands that I've discovered during this show, this is one that hurts the most that they actually just call it a day. And I don't blame them one bit for many different reasons I won't go into. But obviously, both these albums are excellent, but I'm going Tragic Earth. Love it.
Yep. Nice. Well, I'm going to go next and give the final word to Jeff here. For mine, I haven't got quite as detailed a 5 points, sort of just scrambled a bunch of notes down before we got into things tonight. This one, to me, really comes down to what you want, or dare I say, what you need. Kick is polished to absolute perfection, a record built for the masses with a production budget to match. But Hatred and Tolerance feels like a band bleeding into their instruments by comparison. There's something to be said for raw intent over radio sheen, though both are important notes in this one. It's visceral or refined. That's your choice with these 2 records. INXS captured a moment in time. Much of Kick lives in a very firm era. All hooks, so much swagger. Timeless, yes, but also time-stamped. Hatred and Tolerance, by contrast, speaks, I think, even though it's old now, it's almost a decade old, I think.
Almost 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, it still speaks to today, the frustration, the identity, the division. If you're looking for a record that feels more grounded in 2025, I think, Tragic Earth might resonate more with people today. It's worth noting too that while one of these is far more well known than the other, both have utterly captivating vocalists out front. The presence on both of these frontmen, with it being Dimmer or with being Michael Hutchence, both are phenomenal. Both obviously in the live setting, but also on the record. For me, while I genuinely love Kick, this is not a knock to Kick at all. I think the band, over the years, especially from certain sections of our audience, have copped far more flack than they deserve. It's like I remember putting up a post years ago about like the 10th anniversary of Hutchence passing away or something like that, and everyone's gone, "Really? Has the page been hacked?" And I'm like, "What game recognizes game? Like, this guy is one of the greatest frontmen this country has produced. I don't care. Like, he's that good."
They might not be hard rock, but they're still rock. They feel that fucking work.
Tell me it's not rock. You can't tell me it's not rock.
It's rock.
Yeah, like, end of story, full stop. I don't understand the elitism approach to these guys. I think that this band and this album in particular deserve a lot more love than from our audience, sections of, not everyone. But for me, that said, with Kick, there are some songs on this one that don't hold me from beginning to end. There's massive hits that took this band and this album to the heights, like that. Everyone's seen the footage at Wembley and all that kind of stuff. This album is a part of the reason why they conquered the world. They're one of the biggest 3 bands in the world at one point, and this album is a big part of it. But the hits are there, but this isn't a perfect album, not a perfect one. The flip side is that Hatred and Tolerance isn't perfect also. There's a genuine earnestness to it, though. They poured their soul into this one, and for me, it shows. Another important factor to me is that while both love darkness, one lives in darkness. Kick isn't all glitz and glam. It does have a lot more of it. It does feel like a celebration of what life has to offer, while there is still elements of the darkness there. Hatred and Tolerance, though, really lives up to that title. It lives on the seedier side of the world. One album here asks how the other half live. While it's not the half referred to, I think the answer is supplied in its own unique way in this little battle here. I know everyone loves and knows INXS, but for mine, there's one album that holds me for the duration for more than the other one for nearly an hour worth of time. And I am riveted from beginning to end all these years later. So for me, I'm with Dave. My winner is Hatred and Tolerance from Tragic Earth. I'm going to lean that way. So we'll give Jeff the final vote now. Over to you.
Come on, guys. If you're watching, just one fucking show. I'd love to see you guys again.
Yeah, one off would be great.
All right. Look, this is David versus Goliath. There's no question about it. It's. I don't think I've ever seen such a lopsided affair. But
that's why we changed it to do things this way. It makes it more interesting for us. Yeah,
I agree. I agree. It does make it, and it's certainly food for thought, and it makes you think and whatnot, and really, put them on the scales. But sometimes scales can be tipped in ways that you don't expect. So look, there's no denying that the album Kick is a juggernaut. It's it's 38 years ago, 1987. It's hard to imagine 38 fucking years ago, and yet those songs today still sound as relevant and as apt as they did the day they were dropped. But as you said, Andrew, the entire album isn't a hit fest. There's some songs on here that I can listen to and go no, and not then just skip, and then I get to the big hits. That's, to me, when I listen to Kick, a lot of albums shine with the deep cuts. Not for me, at least not with this album. The songs on Kick that shine are the songs, unfortunately, that are the hits. And I hate to say it, but that's just the truth. But it's a great album. It's I think it's been produced within an inch of its life. Of course, it's 1980s production, right?
But it still holds up. It still sounds great.
It certainly does sound great. I had heard something years ago. I don't know if it's true, but the actual name Kick was written before the song Kick. Okay. And so that they chose the reason apparently this album was called Kick was because of the level of recording that it was. The producer, whoever it was, there's a kick to this album that's just fucking unreal, and he had to crank things down because it was cutting. Everything was cutting, clipping.
Wow!
And so I think that's I guess so. That's what I had read years ago in some article somewhere, and I remembered it. And then they wrote a song called Kick. bang.
That'd be the master. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
It could very well be. So I don't know.
That'd be on the
But
master fader. Like that. Yeah, they'd be clipping that. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting nerdy again after your
no, that's cool. So look, it's an iconic piece of work. It goes beyond borders. It was so big in Canada. It was so big in the US. It was so big worldwide. It was just massive. And back in the late 80s, you couldn't go fucking anywhere without hearing something from INXS. And to be honest, I if you go back in their catalog, I actually prefer some of their previous stuff over Kick. That's just me. But they're a good band. They're such a good band. And then you got Tragic Earth, and Tragic Earth is they have there's a rawness there. There's a heartfelt honesty to this album. It's an unusual album. It has its own sound, and it's not for everyone. It's something that you listen to. If you just listen to once, casual listen, it's not a casual listening album. It's an album that you really need to sink your teeth into and sort of dig into it. And so, for what it is, it's absolutely brilliant. I think that the band should be very, very proud of what they produced here and what they put out, because I think when it comes to Australian albums from rock bands, it stands. It's almost got its own plinth. There's not a lot to compare it to.
It's hard. I don't know what to put it against. Yeah,
I agree, and it's and such a thing that is such a hard thing to do. It's downright almost impossible, because everybody gets compared to somebody else, and yet somehow Tragic Earth has got a sound that is uniquely theirs, and I can't think of another band that they sound like, and I don't think any band sounds like them. So that to me is an amazing thing. So and kudos for them for doing that. So at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's a really tough call here. But I kind of have to go with the only band, I guess, that I've ever seen between these two bands that I've seen live. And so I've been lucky enough to see Tragic Earth live. So they're getting my vote.
Wow. Yeah. Monumental fucking David versus Goliath, and David wins.
Sometimes that fucking slingshot connects, right? Sometimes
you kick and sometimes you get kicked.
That's right.
Did Jeff just finish his review then?
Yeah. With Tragic Earth.
Oh my god!
So it wasn't a long review.
It wasn't a long review. But just to recap here, I'm sorry, Belle. Unfortunately, there is a major upset on this front. I was like, no, you're all wrong.
Yeah.
All right, well, you do have another album in the mix, so we'll see how that one goes. But this time around for us only, Tragic Earth managed to do the upset. It was David beating Goliath here with INXS going out to Tragic Earth. I didn't expect that response. And
I am genuinely fucking gutted that this band called it a day, because if they stuck with it, they significantly could have been something fucking valid.
Can I just say something? So if I had actually said INXS, then it would have been a tie. Then it would have won by So and
that's it. But it's an interesting. It is what it is. Unfortunately, I do apologize. Well, I know that, and people in the audience are going to go, "What the fuck?" Because the audience vote was
the audience need to have seen this fucking band live.
Yeah,
but not only that,
really spend some time with this album. Like, let those lyrics resonate in your mind.
Yeah,
it is a very unique, interesting album, and I think it needs.
When we reviewed this album initially, I compared Dimmer's lyrics to Phil Lynott, and I don't give that compliment fucking easily.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think Dennis almost fell off his fucking chair when I did that.
Yeah, I know. I remember
that. It's there. The lyrics like this don't come along all that often.
Yeah, no. For me, it was the how do I put it? The way that it just has its own style and sound, and the way it resonates even now for an album that was one and done for a band, it was just something remarkable to me, and it just stays with me. I haven't been able to get away from it ever since. I still listen to it. If I had to choose which one I'm going to put on today, tomorrow, and yesterday, it's going to be Tragic Earth to me. So I couldn't.
It was cool, John. Like hearing this album from start to finish. I have favorite songs that I've gone back to.
Yeah,
but yeah, like from start to finish.
Yeah. But I want to give Kick its due. Like I know that the audience have gone the other way. With 80 to 90% of the vote, the audience have gone the other way.
Like Kick's a great fucking album.
Like Kick's a great album.
If I had my choice, I would go back to the 80s in a fucking heartbeat. But the world changed, the music changed, and this is the world we live in. This is what we fucking did, so we got to deal with it somehow.
But
we don't have a fucking choice. We did this.
No, it is what it is now. But we have a different, so we're already on divergent paths. So the audience went with INXS, which we expected. I don't think that's a huge shock there with like nearly 90% of the vote. We've gone Tragic Earth, so we'll see how that plays out as the rounds progress. That will be interesting to see what happens in the future. But we'll see if what happens next week, because next battle is Cold Chisel East going up against Volvagun Cold Moon over Babylon, which I believe is Jeff's and my choices going head-to-head against each other.
No.
Who took East?
Wasn't me.
Bell took me. Bell. Okay, Bell, you took East. So, Bell, yours and my choices go to get head-to-head next week. So we'll see what happens in that regard. So, Tragic Earth is in for us, but out for the audience. It's INXS.
Who does Tragic Earth go up against?
Later on, Tragic Earth, battle of round 1. Sorry. They will go up against the winner of next battle, I believe, which is weird, but I'll check that. I've gone a different way of seeing things this around. But anyway, we'll work it out. I'm not sure yet, to be honest. I'm like, that doesn't quite add up to what I normally do. Weird. Anyway, I'm not sure. I'll work it out, but I would imagine it'd be normally one of the top 2 seeds that goes on the face, whether AC/DC or Audio Rain with the next one, which would be an interesting battle either way. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's where that is.
Tragic Earth versus Audio Rain.
That'd be an interesting battle. That would be a tough one too, actually. But next time around,
that would be good. Yeah.
That would be heartbreaking. But yeah, Cold Chisel versus Volvagun next time around. That's where that's going to be. Let's get to the audience comments here before we wrap up tonight. Adrian said, INXS was a great band. Too bad the singer died. He had a killer voice. Michael Hutchins was one of the best, like we said before. Followed up with Tragic Earth, cool video. Call me crazy, but the girls are hot in the video. Well, that's an interesting video, that one.
Girls?
What song did I put up there? Sorry, I've got to go back up a bit here. I put Voices. So the chick with the mask on and all that sort of stuff in the gambling video. And all, like the one about the vices, the video about the vices.
I just remember Dimmer standing on the table during that whole "I'm scared, man." And
yeah. But the thing is that the fun part about this band too, a little tidbit here, is they did the video for "Taste of the Wasted." I think was filmed at our Extravaganza show. So there you go, take that one and put it there. Adrian says,
I just remember that fucking acoustic thing they did at one of our live tapes.
Studio, yeah,
that was cool. And Gavin.
Yep,
that
was beautiful.
Yeah,
yep. INXS played on him MTV all the time. I remember those days. Yes, they were. Vinny says, I've never heard of Tragic Earth. Going to dig a little deeper. Good to see Paul Pfeiffer in this film clip of the Wonder Year after the Wonder Years. Craig is here. Good evening, everyone. Never got a reminder this week. My apologies. It's been a bit of a week this week, so I do apologize. Michael said, INXS were a new wave pop band that later on jumped into the rock genre, but for mine, they were out of genre for a hard rock show. Couldn't vote for them. Well, you did vote publicly for I think you were like the one vote we had for Tragic Earth there. Craig says, Tragic Earth by a country mile from me. So there we go. And Michael says, new wave and rock metal were at war in my world. Okay, well, there's reasons for that behind the scenes there. For you.
Yeah. I get the walls of genres, man. No, I fucking live that shit.
Yeah, well, this is true.
That's cool.
All right.
Genres.
Yeah. Well, we need to move on. It's getting close to time. So we are about bang on path where we want to be normally. So,
yeah.
Check us out on television, 10:30 p.m. Saturday night, Channel 39 in Melbourne, 10:30 p.m. Thursday night, Channel 44 in Adelaide, both local time, different regions, so check your clocks. Next stream, Backyard Banger, is Bell Visualis Rights of the Eclipse. Dave's Border Bust is Wednesday 13. Fretboard Feud is Build a Collection for July 85. I have the game in the next go around, and next week's battle is Cold Chisel versus Volvagun. That's going to be a nice full week yet again, as always, as we go through.
Andrew.
Yes.
Sorry if I'm speaking out of turn, but is there going to be a next week?
Well, we have to discuss that behind the scenes. Like there'll be another show, but what are we doing next week is the thing. So are we taking a mid-year? We have the mid-year break to work out. We've got to work it out. So I'm not sure. That's why I'm sort of tossing up between. It is about time for the mid-year break. I just want to work out where we sit for a couple of weeks off.
Plan some shit in advance.
That's what I'm trying to do. So if we look at it, next week is the last week of June. The week after is the first week of July. Excuse me. So if we wanted to quickly plan this now, then that would be where I would slot the mid-year break because it is the middle of the year. So I'm happy to make that the next fortnight to have the mid-year break. And I've got plans for people working at home. Sorry?
I know in the chat about Belle spoke in semesters because she's got a kid in high school. I got kids as well. I think Victoria Victoria break is in a couple of weeks, and Tasmania is a week out of sync. But I don't know. It'd be cool if we could factor that shit in some way.
Yeah.
But
all right, let me look it up. I'll let everyone know one way or another.
We obviously need a production meeting, and we're good.
Let's
production meeting.
We'll do it.
We'll chat. Look, just follow us online. You'll find
we're
out.
Human. We're fucked.
We'll work it out. It's been a long week, and it's been a bit of a chaotic week for everyone. So we'll just sort of see how it plays out. But at that point in time, if it's not school holidays next week, then we'll try and aim for school holidays. Which means that if it's not yet. If one of you know when school holidays are off the top of your head, well, then we'll just time in the break for the school holidays.
I know Victoria is like 2 more weeks. I think Tasmania is 3 because it overlaps 1 week out of the 2.
Okay.
Fuck, the little bastards are always on holidays around here. Holy fuck.
I don't know. Not a problem I have to worry about anymore.
Like Jade's best friend lives in Tasmania now, so I kind of in both ways.
Yeah, fair enough too. Look, we'll work it out. So just give us a minute to sit down and I'll look at some dates.
I meant to save this for Raise a Glass. Oops.
You can still raise the glass. It's just
you can raise the glass, just won't be full. But anyway, look, on that note, let's move on to raising a glass because I will work out behind the scenes. We'll at this point, it sounds like we're back next week, but the break is coming up. So be forewarned, there is a mid-year break coming up. And I do have plans for broadcasting in that time as well for some special content we've filmed a while back for everyone to enjoy. But we'll get to that over the next 24 hours and let you know either check us out on Patreon, just a live feed, or there's also a chat feature coming up, a community feature in YouTube. So we'll play in those spaces and let everyone know where we're going to be. Also, our Discord is an option too. All these links and everything else is in the description box of this one. So join one of those channels to keep up to date. Don't have to pay anything. Just join somewhere to keep up to date where we post these days. We don't do Facebook and all this stuff anymore. It's just the streaming platforms and the chat platforms. The other stuff can sort of go in the bin because they fucked me around too many times. Too hard basket. I don't give a shit anymore. Anyway, that's about it. We'll do a raise a glass. I think let's do the rounds here. So, Jeff, what are you raising a glass to this week before we get out of here tonight?
I'm gonna raise a glass to my team who fucking didn't let me down. I mean, I would have loved to have seen them win the cup, but hey, they didn't win the cup. 2 times in a row, though. They were the second best team in the entire league. So fucking cheers to them.
Yeah, well done to them.
That's not easy to do.
Horns.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Raise
They
the
did
horns.
that,
That's
Jeff.
good.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll drink to that. Well done to Edmonton.
Yeah. They deserve to win, but I'm going to make a prediction before we go on. That next year, Connor McDavid will not be in Edmonton.
Ooh.
He's going to Toronto.
Okay.
Who?
We'll
What?
see.
That's
Dave.
the greatest hockey player in the world. But he's streaming. Well, that's not just me saying it.
I know.
He is.
Yeah.
But
You know when Uncle Herb brought that fucking thing where Homer Simpson's like, he's drinking the water, he's going back for more? That's what's going on in my mind.
The bird, the dipper. Yeah.
I'm sorry. But look, I love hockey. It's just like you guys love your footy and your fucking cricket and shit. In Canada, it's hockey.
Hockey, yeah. No, it's all good.
So, and the fact that my team has been in the finals 2 years in a row, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so,
no, congrats to them. It's better than mine. So there you go. Alrighty, Dave, raise your now empty glass. What have you got?
It's empty. One alcohol because it's good, and 31 fucking years. I honestly couldn't think of a raise a glass before I went on. It was like the only blank thing. But 31 years, something that has never ever let me down, and that is a
Right
guitar.
hand?
Yep.
No, guitars, man.
Yep.
There's so many
Nice.
different versions and types and brands and styles, and just real fucking music with a real string and a real instrument, real player. So much diversity. It's just a beautiful instrument. So just raising a glass to a good old fashioned guitar. Fucking yeah, that's the shit right there.
I'm with
Good
you.
job.
Countless decades, centuries of fucking musical excellence.
Well put. Well put. Belle, you get the unfortunate duty of following that up.
All right. Well, like I don't have one anymore. I will raise my glass to Deathless Legacy's keyboard player because he's fucking awesome.
Yep.
As I discovered through listening to their album, I think he's really cool. To Michael, who gave that album a 10 out of 10 as well, I think, from memory. He's my empty glass as well.
Yep.
And I don't fucking know, to alcohol as well, because
alcohol.
It's awesome.
There's going to be some sore heads tomorrow, isn't there? There's going to be a fun Friday for everyone involved in this one.
Daniel, fly back from fucking Vietnam and like the amount of times you double checked everything I had to do, man. I miss you, dude.
Let's not do that. All right, I'm going to quickly do this. Then
Man, I'm doing fucking everything.
All right, my razor glass this week is on a personal note. A personal note is the whole video and communication technology, because we're getting videos of our granddaughter saying things like mum, 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 dad, dad, dad now. So getting, even though we're thousands of kilometers away, we're still able to be a part of these moments, get on the phone, FaceTime, and have those shared tears kind of thing. So those real world moments, we had one of those this week, and so I'm grateful for
video communication is the shit.
Yeah, no, I'm loving what's happening there. But on a note for us here at the show to be proud of, we got some ratings figures for us over the last few months. So in May, we were the 15th highest rated program on Channel 31 with 10,000 viewers. In April, though, we were the third highest rated program on Channel 31 with over 20,000 viewers. So we've done well for all of us here. So thank you to everyone for their involvement in the show, because well done to all of you, because we've done a great job and done some great things. Number 3 for a month on TV. So that's a great job for all of us.
It still surprises me when people are just like that like they recognize us on that show and do so many different walks of life. So
it's everywhere.
People just say, oh, it's just Channel 31.
It means a lot. Yeah.
So many different types of people fucking know us.
Yep. No,
it's there. People still love this music and what we do. So it's important. It's the only thing that keeps me motivated to get up and do this fucking thing.
Yeah. No, it's worth it. It is worth it. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Final comments. Yeah. Final comments. Craig says, well, we're at it. I must now raise a glass to Jeff on his recent Dream Theater review. Like Dave, I've now fallen in love with it. I spent the entire week really digging deep. It's phenomenal. So there we go.
Nice.
Well done, Craig.
Very
nice
well done.
Nice, Craig.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Good
It's a great
comment.
album. It's a great album.
Vinny says, raising a glass to the influx of horror and thriller movies rolling through. 28 years later, Bring Her Back, Trap, and Conjuring 4 incoming for September. So there you go if you're a fan of the genre.
And there's new Annabelle coming, and there's an It Dairy TV series coming.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
And Megan too.
Megan too. Yeah. Megan too.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm talking language I don't know now. Anyway,
she's
sorry, I don't watch much. Adrian says, I raised my glass that day about your guitar. So there we go. Palantis, your mate says, feel for you, Dave. Take it easy tomorrow. Good luck with everyone tomorrow for all of us.
Fuck it all. Fuck tomorrow. Fuck it all.
Adrian, congrats. Thank you for that. Awesome ratings from Michael. And Craig says Alien Earth as well. So there we go. And thank you all for the kind words on the ratings for the show. We've done well over the last couple of months. We'll see what happens for the rest of the year. But on that note, it's time to get out of here. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. All the usual stuff is there. It's been a week. We'll see you all next week. I'm assuming at this point in time, same time and place as always. We'll have a mid-year break coming up in a couple of weeks, but we are going to be back next week. Okay, final comment here. Vinny says, and Attack of the Killer Foreskins. Oh my God, Vinny.
You know what? Killer Tomatoes needs a reboot.
It probably will get one at the rate we're going.
Not
all
with
right,
that.
folks, that will do it. I'll leave the comments to the end now. That's it. We'll get out of here. We'll see you all very, very soon. Have a great week. Until next time. Thank you to Jeff on beside me on the screen there. Thank you to Belle, opposite corner. And thank you to Dave, opposite corner to Jeff. Thank you all so much. It's been a week. We've all had to go through a bit. I'm glad you've all managed to jump in and have a bit of fun with us tonight. So thank you all for your company, your time, and the fun tonight. It's been a good one. We'll see everyone very, very soon. Make sure you look after yourselves. Until next time, folks, I'm Andrew, and you all know what to do. As always, drink up. Rock on.
Cheers.